All right. Welcome back, everybody. Guess what? It is time for the first time I have ever seen a best of 7 in Mechabellum. It is the season finals. The season of Mag1 Live has been going for a couple of months, and we are here. Redhair on the bottom going Rhino Spec, Tarantula Marksman. You guys know that's my favorite set recently. I've been having a lot of success with it. Tarantulas have been nerfed, though. That's crazy. We're still going Tarantula after the hit point nerf? I don't know how much it really affects things. Conclusion, on the other hand, is going to be... Okay, so Conclusion's down here in the blue, in the bottom left of our screen, guys. Let me just make sure we move our mouse over. And in the top right side is going to be Redhair. So Redhair from China, The Conclusion from Germany. The Conclusion is a mad lad. This guy is a massive meme lord, has brought out some of the craziest strategies I've ever seen, and just keep spamming them out. And it's Sledgehammer Marksman. So we've got Marksman face-off. Now, generally the Tarantulas are more of a headbutting, charge at your opponent, get in their face and try to smash them style with these Tarantulas. And you can see we've got range, we've got spider mines, armor-piercing bullets, and high explosive range available in the Tarantulas. The Marksmen have very similar to my loadout, aerial spec, range, double shot, and EMP. Meanwhile, Conclusion is still running the quick reload. So these marksmen, right, long range single target unit, one of their biggest weaknesses is obviously overkilling things. You can pay a bunch of money. It doesn't give them any extra damage per second, but it halves their attack speed it doubles their attack speed but halves their damage. So same overall damage output, but they shoot twice as fast, so they're not counted as much by wasps or chaff or anything like that. They're still not amazing at those, but in the super late game with super long range marksmen, that can be the best way to do it. We've also got vertical sledges, which are going to do a good job of just slowing down the enemy units, getting through them. And you could always go repair on those as a really good way to get the tarantulas stuck on them later. But right now, with the marksmen tracking onto them, obviously that wouldn't help out. Now, the tarantulas are coming forward. You guys can see they've had a bit of a hit point nerf recently, 5% hit point nerf. They were up at about, 15,500 life. Now they're 14.4. Marksman actually snipes the tower on the left side, but looks like this tower snipe's going to come in at a pretty opportune timing, because I'm pretty sure this tarantula will kill the sledge and then clear these crawlers. Actually, he gets distracted by the marksman, but yeah, he's going to defend the marksman, I think, from these crawlers. And he does exactly that. So a nice start here for Redhair. Now, Redhair from China, guys, loves fire, has a lot of weird strategies of his own. And remember, both of these players defeated Flower Fairy to get here in the round of 4 in the semifinals. Redhair beat him in a best of 1. In the upper bracket, Conclusion beat him in a best of 3. Conclusion beat him with offensive war factories thrown on the front. Redhair managed to beat Flower Fairy, the best player in the world, with... Actually, I put it up on YouTube last night for anyone who saw it. He was starting aggressive with tarantulas, and with a big YOLO start, his opponent went multi-melter, and he pivoted into acid siege scorpions, which were just pelting with acid and marksman. So that was a similar start to what Redhair has here. Now, you can see both sides have taken the haste module, guys. It gives you +5 movement speed and 40% bonus attack. So this tarantula is going to do crazy damage, and he's going to close in, and I think he likes that because he's going to go towards the tower. He's also someone you could mobile beacon to get towards the tower pretty quickly, and you can see beginning the tarantula cage on this right side. That being said, Conclusion, we not only started with a marksman set, he also is marksman spec, which means you've got 4 marksmen without using any deployments, which is absolutely beautiful. Like, absolutely beautiful. Because normally the problem with marksmen compared to Phoenix is that they just take too many deployments. But if you start with 3 level 1s, then you get a level 3 on round 2, it feels like it's actually worth investing in the upgrades for these, as it gives you such a nice start. Unfortunately for Conclusion, because of course he's set up symmetrically and more standard defensively, these units on the left aren't very useful just yet. And what he's lacking right now is chaff clear. So you might be looking at this and thinking, guys, he's getting hammered. Redhair is running away with this game, because Redhair, I guarantee you, is going to dominate this round. But you got to keep in mind, there's no investment in chaff clear. Sledgehammers they can clear chaff a little bit, but they're mostly there for tanking and slowing the opponent down, right? So you might look at this and say, well, what's Conclusion doing? He is doing what a lot of high-level players do, what a lot of low-level players never do, which is get your chaff clear at a super... Like, basically, he's looking for the best possible chaff clear in the best possible positioning. And this is how you always want to play if you want to play Vulcan. Vulcan pairs with Marksman really well, something Conclusion used earlier on, and I think it was the round of 8. Really nicely. He had a few games where he went mass Marksman late game, and they're really good. So he's basically saying, I can lose 600, 800. He's going to lose 900 life this turn. It doesn't matter as long as I can get Vulcan next turn. And there's a chance that you actually get a Vulcan unit drop, right? Which is going to save you a lot of money from unlocking a giant. He almost certainly wants to play Vulcan here. And that's why we might actually see the classic situation where it might be worth Redhair going Melting Point. Normally the level 3 Phoenix, very attractive. But I actually think the Melting Point might be good just because if I was in Redhair's shoes, I would be like, you're going to take a Vulcan soon. I want to deal with that. And Conclusion actually does go for the Phoenix. And he's putting that up on the right side really far forwards. Is he going to mobile beacon it backwards maybe? And he does take the Vulcan that we were talking about. He couldn't wait any longer. If he goes another turn with no chaff clear, it's going to be a problem because his marksmen are essentially worthless, shooting little guys, shooting chaff the entire time until you get some chaff clear. Thank you, Blue Flame. Thank you for the Mechabellum sub. Hey, appreciate it, dude. I'm so excited to see what happens in this finals. Whoa, guys, Redhair just leveled up both of his crawlers. Now, this is a decision. I have always wondered. And look at this haste module on the Vulcan as well, so he does plus 40% damage. Technically, the Vulcan doesn't do that much damage a shot, but he shoots 10 times a second. So any upgrade on your crawlers will make them survive longer against the Vulcan. But there's two problems here. Number one, they feed a lot more experience, which will allow the Vulcan to level, and it's going to outscale them massively levels, and it still counters them really hard. So for me, my instincts in my own gameplay, if I'm in Redhair's shoes, is never upgrade crawlers here. That's a crazy person's decision. Oh, look at this Phoenix flank, by the way. Phoenix flank on the left side. Oh, but there was a marksman. Oh, wait. Do they warp in and beat the marksman? Do they? Okay, this is a crazy flank from Redhair on the left side. Vulcan fighting the Tarantula over there. Looks like... Oh, yeah, they're level 3 Phoenix. So he's going to sell those Phoenix next turn, guys. Wow, so Redhair goes for the Phoenix. These Phoenix already killed one Tarantula, I think. Maybe not. Redhair gets a beautiful flank, though. Takes out the tower. But you only want to do this if you're happy to sell these Phoenix. He could put chaff in front of them and keep them for another turn and then sell out of them. Actually, this is a really good move. This is a really good move. Think about this. Check this out. Not only is he doing way more damage to Conclusion when Conclusion's already burning a lot of hit points because of that tower snipe specifically, and the fact there's only one Vulcan that locked onto a Tarantula really early, which was a big problem. But if he can force more deployments down here and then sell out of a Crawler and a Phoenix squad, basically Conclusion's going to have a ton of units on this left side of the map that you guys see over there that are kind of worthless. Now, Conclusion takes Tank Production Line, a fantastic card. He's going to take another Vulcan at some point anyway, and having it just spam sledgehammers, 2 sledgehammers every 13 seconds, super high value item. Now, the marksmen are going double shot. The reason is he wants to kill these Tarantulas as quickly as possible when he locks onto them. And he's going to go best partner in a second Vulcan already. Wow, okay. I mean, he needs the second Vulcan for the tank production line. He is going to put it down there because he's expecting a commitment of crawlers to the flank. But that's a crazy position to put a Vulcan. This makes... I mean, it's going to spawn a lot of sledgehammers. The thing is, that item will spawn sledgehammers for the entire game. But it just seems crazy to put such a big amount of your investment in the back corner while you get wrecked on the right. So, thankfully, Conclusion's not insane, guys. He does correct that. And we are going to see Wasps and Rhinos on the front. Remember, this was Rhino Specialist, so Rhinos are coming in this turn. And a level 2 Rhino especially is going to be incredibly tanky. It doesn't have armor, doesn't really need it. Oh, he does still click armor. And he's going to do one Rhino on the left side as well, maybe? I don't know. No, he's just going to go there. So it's Wasp, Rhino, Tarantula aggression. The 3 Tarantulas are level 2 now. Look at this, though. Flanking crawlers in the back. Okay, those are going to distract 1.5 squads of Redhair's crawlers. So not a bad little crawler squad. And he could put a chaff clear unit in the corner as well next turn, potentially. But we'll see how this works. So these Vulcans are both going to summon another marksman. And he wants those marksmen to help clear the Rhinos, clear the Tarantulas. But I think these Wasps are just going to be amazing against the marksmen. Because the Fangs are going to go down instantly. And then the marksmen are going to have to waste so many shots trying to clear these Wasps. Now, they do track onto the Rhino. But the Rhino tanking so much damage from these Vulcans. The Vulcans are doing nothing. The level 2 armor reduces every incoming attack by 120 damage. Vulcans don't do 120 damage, so they're doing nothing. Only the marksmen are able to kill it. But by the time they get through the Rhino, guess what? Both your Vulcans are gone. Your tower's going down, and Conclusion's life is getting dangerously low. Don't get me wrong, Conclusion has an amazing long-term unit comp, but I don't know if he can make it to round 7 or round 8, where I think he's going to outscale. I think right now, Redhair is all over him. And Redhair is making this really, really tough for him. Whew. Chat says the Crawler Squad would have been better going for the Tower Snipe from the other side. Looks like maybe he did that as well. I'll have to check what Crawler's got on that tower. The missile does waste itself on that one missile, so a nice little win for Conclusion that he wasted a missile. I think it was just these Crawlers from the back that eventually took that tower out. Okay, guys, Conclusion takes another haste module here. I think for another Vulcan. Meanwhile, we are going to probably see... I don't think you go Super Supply. I think you really want to win soon as Redhair, so I think you go haste module and put it on a Tarantula. I think you just haste module this guy and give him another level. You could put it on a Rhino. Oh, he's going to put the Photon. Okay, so this item gives you a 30% damage reduction, guys, at the start of the, for the first 25 seconds of the battle. It also makes him immune to EMP, Ignite, Acid, and Degen Beam, whereas EMP sometimes is a really nice counter to get rid of armor, so that's really effective. Now, we are going to see another Vulcan, and remember, every Vulcan summons a marksman at the start of each round. Can he survive, though? Can he survive? And does he get Mustangs or missiles to counter the Wasps? It looks like he's gone for a missile there. If Redhair puts a Crawler in front to tank the missile, that would be amazing. But if those Wasps just get missiled, then that's a really big problem. Now remember, if we go vertical, you can see this missile is going to land on the Rhino to slow it, as well as get a lot of Crawler clear. This guy's going to land on the Wasps unless something goes in front, which it's not going to. And Rhino Tarantula on the left as well, which is going to be really hard. A level 2 Rhino as well, guys. He's borrowed money. He's paid for movement speed, elite recruitment, and Whirlwind. So the Rhinos are going to be chaff clear as well. Oh my gosh. Dude, these Rhinos are going to wreck the Vulcan Marksman. I don't know if Vulcan Marksman's the right call in such a short range game. We'll see if he can slow it down. That level 2 Rhino taking so much of the Vulcan damage, but it finally goes down. One Vulcan's about to fall. This guy on the right side spawning sledgehammers really well. Left side tower's going to go down to the Whirlwind Rhino soon, though. They almost cleared the Rhino, but they couldn't quite get through it. 63,000 hit points. I think he must have also bought hit points. Yeah, he also bought level 1 defense enhancement for plus 15% life. This Tarantula Rhino Assault, the marksmen don't even need upgrades. They're just doing great damage. This is going to be another 1,000 damage. Is Conclusion dead? 200, 400, 600, 800? Yeah, he's dead. He's just barely dead. No! He's not! Conclusion still has a chance! 16 life left. Ooh, all right, let's go. Both sides are going to take the fast here. That's like a really valuable sell. Now, you could go Scorch, but because the Vulcans don't have any levels, I don't think it's worth. He also doesn't carry Scorch. He's going to go... Fair enough. And Mobile Beacon it backwards. Launcher Overload War Factory. And does he Mobile Beacon it backwards, or does he just let it stand and fight? He is going to go for a Launcher Overload War Factory. Conclusion's on 16 life. He's like, well, I'm dead. I'm like, I need to go now. And remember, temporary range and movement speed. He borrowed money last turn. Redhair has been playing this as a tempo build, playing it like an all-in, right? Conclusion was playing a long-term strategy, but now he's like, okay, I will match you. I will pay for movement speed. I will chuck this on the front line. This War Factory is one of the biggest units in the game, guys. It's a Titan. It costs 200 supplies of upkeep every round. So it's going to lose him money over time, but it's 150,000 hit points. It has, I think it's 4? Is it 4? 2 guns on each side, right? I think it's 2 guns on each side. So it has 4 guns, each which shoot 8,000 damage every 0.9 seconds because he's got the Launcher Overload. It's pretty short range because Launcher Overload, it gives you double attack speed, but it does lower your range. But it is going to blast through the Rhinos very quickly. And that War Factory is basically what he's relying on. We've got more Wasps coming in, which are going to be a real big problem for these marksmen. There's still no Mustangs or anything to deal with that. Dude, this game's about to get absolutely wild. How well does this War Factory do? There's no flanks there. That Crawler is still distracting in the top right. Let's see what happens. Okay, first Wasp Squad gets cleared. That one got broken by a missile interceptor. The War Factory on the right side is blasting the Rhinos and Tarantulas down. Left side Rhino is a problem, but it's slowed by Whirlwind, so it's taking a while to get to the tower, which is allowing the War Factory to do its magic. Remember, guys, Conclusion got wrecked by Fairy game 1 of their game in the semifinals, and then he went 2 War Factory games in a row and crushed him. Conclusion, is this the season where he gets carried to a bloody tournament victory off of the back of spamming War Factories? Is this really that? It just might be. Rhino's going for the tower dive. Marksman, defend! Defend! Oh, they couldn't get it in time. That level 2 Rhino. Oh, the debuff is so big. When your tower's dead, for those who don't know, if you're new to Mechabellum, your units do like 10% damage. They move way slower. And they take about 50% bonus damage as well. It's pretty brutal. But the War Factory survives. You're going to do about 1,000 damage or more. And the crawlers are going to kill the missile interceptor. That's pretty damn good. Ooh, okay, okay. Conclusion survives. Strikes back, as you can see. Massive damage there from the War Factory and the Vulcan. But it's the first damage that Redhair's taken in this entire game. Now, Redhair's got to go, okay, do we just throw a battleship? Get an Overlord in the back door? I don't know. Thingo's going to drop a Vulcan, so we're going to do a Vulcan drop. Conclusion, I think, is just taking everything. He's like, dude, I just need to take every temporary boost I can to survive. He can level up the War Factory now, make it a level 2-1, super worth. Doesn't increase the upkeep at all, but it's going to double the stats, which is massive. The Marksmen still just have double shot. They don't need anything else, not against this army. Marksmen have to run double shot against this sort of Rhino Assault. There's no other upgrades that are worth getting here. Looks like one of these marksmen got sold. The War Factory gets sold because he figures a melter is going to go down or something to deal with it. And instead he makes a new one down here, puts a Vulcan there as well. So he's still playing Vulcan marksman. He knew there would be a melter go on the right side. We see there is the level 2 melter. It was an elite recruitment melter. No, it does get range on it as well. But of course, the cell, very wise. Yeah, he could have kept this one, leveled it up, and tried to mobile beacon it backwards, but War Factories, in my experience, don't fight very well when they're trying to run backwards. They fight much better when they're facing towards the enemy. So I think the resell is the smarter play, and it's going to help deal with this menace of a level 3 Rhino on this right side. Left side, sorry. Problem is the right side, do we just crumble? Missile clears the Wasps again. Vulcan's doing pretty well, but that level 2 Rhino with the Photon item as well is going to be really good, the Photon coating. Like, War Factory crushes the left side, but the right side kind of getting wrecked. These marksmen are struggling. Even the level 3 marksman's like, here's 14,000 damage. 14,000 damage with a double shot. Finally, the Rhino dies. But it looks like, oh, the backdoor Vulcan gets a snipe as well. That being said, that's a very expensive ability. It takes forever to cool down, the Vulcan drop. I don't know if this is worth it. I don't know if that Vulcan in the back door is super worth it. Don't get me wrong, we're going to win this round. But conclusion right now is he has to make sure he is cheese-proof. If he drops any round, if his opponent survives with a sledgehammer, he will lose the game. 2 Wasps surviving a round would kill him. Luckily, he does have marksman. He's going to take these out. He's going to win this round. But man, it's kind of crazy. Now, does he level his Vulcans? Because I think they're starting to get some experience on this side. I think he might be able to level one of them. Okay, one of them has a level available. Redhair's going to take Ion Blast. He's like, dude, I got to get him out of here, man. I got to get rid of these units. Conclusion, could take heavy armor, but he's going to take his own Ion Blast. Probably go for like somewhere over here. Maybe try and... I don't think you can kill a melter with the Ion Blast is the problem. Ion's going to be way better on this kind of static defensive setup of Conclusion than it is on the more offensive, fast-moving setup of Redhair. But missiles going down to try and help clear these Wasps. There's still no dedicated anti-Wasp anti-air. It's just a few Fangs plus the Marksman. So we're going to see... Yeah, here we go. So we're going to go across that right side line with that Ion Beam. This one's going to come down here and try to blast the Marksman and this Vulcan and some of the chaff as quickly as possible. We are going to have oil go down. Now that's interesting, guys. Redhair is going to try and run these units over to the right side and lure all these guys through the oil, which they'll be setting on fire as well. So he's going to try and basically oil Conclusion's left flank and just dominate the right side where his Ion's going down, which is really cool. We've got a barrier over here trying to protect the Melter, but it's not really going to protect this Tarantula. Oh, this is a crazy round. It feels like both sides are so committed. Borrowing money, temp range, temp movement speed. Borrowing money, temp movement speed, temp range. The Launcher Overload War Factory still level 1. Hasn't committed to a second one. All right, guys, for the next round, the replay crashed. So we're going to actually watch it off the stream VOD here. Means we won't have game sound. But let's check it out. Dude, I have no idea what's going to happen. This is going to be so freaking ridiculous. All right. Does this pivot work? This pivot to the right side. The problem is the Rhinos are so weak to that War Factory. But if you can get a Melter to track onto the War Factory and still have a few Rhinos left alive, this could absolutely do it. It could absolutely do it. Now, he could obviously get production on the War Factory to help with the Melters. Here we go, guys. Ion Beam goes down. That oil's going to be a big problem because he sets fire to the oil, and now the army chases into it. You see that level 3 Rhino running to that right side. The Ion Beam breaks the barrier on that right side. Doesn't quite kill the Vulcan, but it does take out some of those units. The Marksman barely surviving. Actually blasts his own Rhino with the Ion Beam. Bit of friendly fire there from Redhair. The War Factory died to the Melter. The second tower goes down, and this was a beautiful pivot. Really well done. That was the surrender comes in before the round's even over. Redhair takes the first map. That was beautiful, man. You can see just how quickly, with the fire clearing the chaff, Melter on its own just tracks onto the War Factory even before the Vulcans, because it's so short range, and kills it so quickly. Oh, should he have sold it again and made another one on the right side? I don't know. I think he was in trouble either way. This was going to be a really tough hold, but that was a beautiful fire. I always call Redhair the Pyromaniac, and this is the reason why he uses fire in some of the cleverest and most effective ways to finish off games. All right, guys, going into the next game. Conclusion is going to take Speed Spec, Arclight Steel Ball. It's a classic, nice aggro start. Speed Spec, really good aggro. And we are going to have Marksman Spec for Redhair. Marksman Saber Crawler. You don't see this one at the top level that much. It's a very playable set. I do think the Sabers are not terrible against Steel Balls. They generally, I mean, it's obviously it all comes down to the chaff game, right? They definitely can help. He does run secondary arms. Secondary arms is my favorite ability. It's very rare you use it. There are times if you're both headbutting each other, like if the ball's deployed on this right side, where you would absolutely consider clicking that just to blast down the steel balls. It is a fun ability. Those who don't know, secondary arms basically adds a gun on each side of the Sabertooth tank that will shoot units in an arc, like on the side of it, basically. The only problem with it is it's only limited to 95 range. So if you ever upgrade range, it does not get range upgrades. So it only works when your opponent's shoving units like balls in your face, shoving those short range units in. Check this out though. So we've got the defensive Arclight on the very back. 2 Arclights, Crawler, 2 balls. These balls are going to split. So 2 of them are going to go get themselves killed. Even with the early tower snipe, I actually think this positioning favors Redhair. And the reason why is, like I said, you're going to kill that tower, but then do you actually kill many of these units in the meantime? Because look at this. Beautiful ball timing with the Crawlers blocking. The Saber's going to kill 3 balls. And then, okay, you get the earlier tower debuff, but what do you do with it? This Arclight's god tier, though. This Arclight is actually amazing. And you know what? He will be able to track onto the Saber and take it out. Never mind. Never mind. It's still good enough. But I guess once he puts something over there to slow that tower debuff down, could go for like a defensive layer like this. I don't know. I'm not very experienced with Sabers. Back a few, you know, when they had slightly more splash damage, 6 meter splash, they could kill 2 balls with 1 shot. I used them a lot. I should admit, I haven't really been using them much in it for a while, so I could be wrong on this. We are currently 1-0 for Redhair in this grand finals, guys. This is game 2. And it's going to be a bit of damage for Conclusion in round 1. Balls are meant to start strong, but they're very hard counterable, so you've got to be very agile and not get too flat-footed. Improved Wasps just came out. Remember, guys, they've reduced the range from 20 down to 10. Improved Wasp, not as overpowered as it was previously. It used to be insane because you got a 20 range boost as well as the 60% hit point and 60% attack buff. Obviously, it makes Wasps more expensive, but that's such an insanely dominant card. Having that nerf has really made it be seen a lot less. Now, Redhair's going to take Wasp Swarm. I don't really rate any of the other cards. They're both going to go Wasp Swarm. Sometimes I will just give it up. If I'm in Conclusion shoes, I'll say, if you Wasp Swarm, you can kill my tower. I don't care. Like, I'll just accept it. Now, looks like he's going to go for the top right corner. There is that level 3 marksman coming out here. Are we going to mobile beacon this backwards? That's a very far forward. Oh, he's basically just wanting to track onto the Arclight. So this is the sort of deployment I'm never brave enough to do. You're like, look, I'm going to kill the Arclight round 1. Problem is, the next round he's going to put Fangs there. And then your marksman is really exposed, right? And I mean, we can already see the Fangs are going down preemptively, right? As my computer crashes or my game crashes. Oh no. All right, guys, sorry, we just had a little bit of a freeze, but we're straight back into it. We've got double Sledgehammer. The marksman unable to track onto that Arclight. The marksman, she's very exposed on the front line. And there is a Wasp flank, of course, coming in from both sides, but it looks like Conclusion's Wasp flank is better. Does get a really nice debuff timing, and even the vertical sledges, which are so good at slowing down a ball assault, not going to be enough to stop this, man. Ooh. Okay. This is a really good round for Conclusion. This is a very nice round because your opponent just went sledges, but now you've got steel balls that you can level. Steel balls, if they keep leveling, can get super out of control. Like, I had a game the other day against Dillo. He got a level 5 or level 6 steel ball with the range item on it. And like suck and range upgrade. And it was the annihilator of worlds, man. I was trying to fight it with multi-melter. It was not smart. It did not go well for me. Anyway, Conclusion's going to go additional deployment. Redhair's going to go additional deployment. Conclusion. Hard to say no to additional deployment. Laser Sights is good, but additional deployment is so much value over the long term, especially in a game like this. It's got kind of an interesting position now. I wouldn't mind him doubling down on this left flank now. What else could you do with this? I mean, the problem is, what is Conclusion doing with this army? Like, I always hate the Arclight Steel Ball start. Well, I don't hate it. I just find it awkward because I'm like, what do we do next, right? Like, he's going to go Phoenix. Okay, so Phoenix. All right. Not a bad idea. And what do we got? Vertical sledges. Scorpion comes in. It's a pretty early Scorpion. Now, of course, the idea being, I think he's saying, look, those balls, if they level, which they're about to probably, are a massive problem. I need a Scorpion to stop it. But because he's already gone Scorpion, a really inflexible, expensive unit, if you don't level your balls, damn. I thought Conclusion was about to do the meta move and just not level them. I was like, 300 IQ. He's predicting the Scorpion. He's going to shut it down. Now, interestingly, we've already got 1-1 upgrades as well here coming in. So extra attack and extra defense on the side of Redhair. I'm not exactly sure why he's getting those upgrades. Normally, I feel like the attack makes sense. The armor not as much against steel balls, but yeah, it's not a bad idea. Now that Scorpion, can it land hits on these clumped balls? It's going to use another shot on the crawlers. Can he land a good shot? The answer is no. The Scorpion completely whiffs. Finally kills a single level 2 steel ball. Oh, this Scorpion was not well placed, I don't think. That one got 2 steel balls. This Scorpion did not do its job. The Chaff doing really well here. Scorpion does go down. Still a pretty close round, all things considered. But I thought Redhair with that Scorpion, and I think he definitely was hoping for a much better result there. As Conclusion wins yet another round. He's only getting chip damage. The argument being the long-term positioning, vertical sledges, this sort of stuff might be better long-term for Redhair. But now we have the unit drop. Stormcallers, Void Eyes, Tarantulas, and Rhinos. 3 Tarantula deployments is insanely good chaff clear. Stormcallers are good in a long-range battle. This is a pretty short-range battle, so it's kind of hard as a speed specialist to go Stormcallers here. Okay, he's just selling them. Never mind, it's fine. I was like, is he crazy? Like, this is not the game. This is not the map positioning for Stormcallers. Unfortunately, he's putting the Storms over here, guys. And those Storms, yeah, over here is better, where they lock straight onto these units. Vertical sledges also take Storm missiles pretty badly. He's going to add some Mustangs with range. So he's predicting Wasps. Right? Why are we going Mustangs here, guys? Is he going to pivot Hackers? Are we thinking of going Hacker? Oh, wow. I think he's already planning a Hacker. So there's nothing on this board Mustangs are good against. But I think he's planning to sell out of the balls and go Hackers, knowing there's going to be an even heavier Scorpion commitment. Slow attacking units, lots of medium sledges to hack. This is the only explanation I can come up with. It could also be because he says, oh, it's triple Rhino drop. You're going to go Rhinos. Rhinos are also weak to hackers, so Rhinos and sledges on the board. Lots of slow attacking units like Arclights and Marksmen that are kind of slow to turn, and Scorpions. Hackers going to be good against that. And obviously Hackers and Mustangs go hand in hand. So he might be setting up for that board state. That's my theory craft, but I'm very unsure about that. Rhino in the corner, aggroing a lot of Crawlers and Mustangs, will get taken out. This Rhino, it looks like the Fangs aren't going to get in front of the tower. Oh, Redhair is going to take out that tower. Yes, it was upgraded, but it is going to go down at a pretty nice timing, and that's a big problem. These Mustangs would have liked to get a lot more experience this turn. Those Stormcallers would have taken out that Sabertooth with that volley otherwise, but now, I don't know if they're going to be able to... Yes, they are, just barely. Now, that being said, there's only one Marksman up there. As long as this Marksman goes down, the Phoenix will still win the round because there's nothing that shoots up, but that is a big if. The Scorpions are really tanky, man. Dude. 21,000 hit points for a level 1 Scorpion. Are they normally that tanky, guys? I guess it's just the plus 15% life. That feels like a... I guess it's normally like 19,000 or something? Or 18,000? Yeah. Very, very tanky units. Oh! Does Conclusion take Elite Hacker? I thought he was going to go Hacker, guys. Elite Hacker is really good. It's just very expensive. Redhair skips. I think you Elite Hacker or you skip this. Unless you're crazy and you want to go Extended Range War Factory. Nah, he's going to skip. Okay, Conclusion does skip, guys. And we've got the Scorpions getting leveled. Do the balls get sold out of? Do we go Hackers? What is the plan with these Mustangs? I'm so curious. What have you been downloading lately to cause all these crashes? Oh, just booby pictures. Yeah, you know, the standard thing. Sorry, guys, my computer's been crashing a bit. You know, just pictures of boobies on my 28.8K modem. It has to make the sounds when it dials up. Oh, he's going to go more balls. Okay, so we're going to go split division balls, probably. Mechanical division at some point. So he's going to go for extra balls here. They'll deal with the Rhino in the corner. He's still not got his tower necessarily covered because these fangs don't get in front of it in time. The crawlers buy a little bit of time. Range Arclight's being committed to. Redhair is in a more standard board state now, right? Where it's like, it's not fully standard, but you know, he's got like a spread of chaff clear. He's got the Scorpions, the Sledgehammers up front. Bit of a commitment to a flank here for Conclusion with Sledgehammer Crawler there. This is kind of interesting, man. The commitment to Mustangs is so odd. I really wonder what the plan is here. Because it feels to me like Redhair just has a better plan for the board. And I don't know if into like Scorpions that are already leveling, can you just go forts? Because if you're going heavy Mustang, I always just think, well, Mustang fort's a good composition. But if you've already got a bunch of big leveled Scorpions in front of you, is that a valid play? I don't think so. I still think Hacker is one of the more promising plays against this board. There's still no Mustangs, there's no fast attacking units, no Vulcans, no Wraiths, no fantastic chaff clear. On the side of Redhair, Conclusion can tank some damage. But like how much? And what's the plan? Okay, so we've got Hounds, Farseer, Stormcallers, and something else which I didn't see there, guys. Both sides take the level 3 Farseer. It's a fantastic sell. And he's just going to go War Factory. Okay, he just goes range War Factory. It's War Factory Mustang. Okay, I guess that's the other unit that goes with Mustangs, right? Mustangs shoot up, they shoot down, they do a little bit of chaff clear. He's just going to go for the carry War Factory. Launcher, Overload, and the range upgrade to 120 range of pure madness. And I imagine he's going to mobile beacon that forward to here. We do have Acid coming into the Scorpions this turn. Which is, I think he knows you're going to do something like this, right? Conclusion's been spamming War Factories lately, and Acid landing on those can be very effective. That being said, Farseer is unlocked, which means you can always remake a Farseer, remember? And then use the Photon emission to try and protect it from poison, at least for the first 20 seconds of the round. We are going to mobile beacon this forward, pays for range, pays for movement speed, and borrows money. It's a lot of money to spend on this round. Pays for 1/1 upgrades as well. Plus 2 tankiness upgrade actually for Redhair. And you guys might be wondering, why would you rush level 2? It's because of the Mustang commitment. Mustangs do low incremental damage. So every bit of extra damage they get, or damage that you reduce, is always going to be very effective. It's kind of like getting armor upgrades against Zerglings or Marines in StarCraft. It's just usually a good choice. Both sides go for the defensive Wasp Swarm rather than offensive. Missile to slow down that Rhino to hopefully allow the Fangs to get in front of the tower. Good choice there. And this War Factory, guys, look at it. It one-shots an Arclight. It's going to kill the level 2 Scorpion. A 55,000 hit point Scorpion disappears. The Sledgehammers, they disappear. The Marksman, Arclight, disappears. This War Factory is an absolute Chad gamer, man. He does so much damage. The tower goes down. The War Factory is insane. Conclusion's War Factories are disgusting. Is Redhair Fengfeng? Yeah, Fengfeng is Redhair. He wants to be called Fengfeng, but everyone knows him as Redhair. Redhair / Fengfeng, same player. I don't know if they started calling him Fengfeng in the official cast, like Rooster and Wonderboat and stuff. Because if so, and everyone starts knowing him as Fengfeng, sure. But like a month ago, I heard he didn't like that his name was Fengfeng. It was Redhair and wanted to be called Fengfeng. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Is everyone calling him that? And what I heard from the hardcore community was no, everyone still calls him Redhair. And I was like, well, I'm not going to just be the one guy calling him by a different name and getting everyone confused. But if there's guys in the chat now appearing going, is Redhair Fengfeng? Is that the same? Then maybe I should actually change. So you guys let me know. I'll update if that is correct. Damage item on the level 2 Mustangs. They do get leveled up. The War Factory. An absolute tyrant. How do you deal with this, guys? I mean, Scorpion Acid is going to be good if you can actually do damage to it. But I don't know if is it enough? Degen Wraith. Oh, that's cute. So he's going to try and slow down the War Factory's movement speed by 40%, attack by 20%, and it'll take an additional 30% damage. It'll also take an additional 250% damage from the acid. So if it's in the acid, it's going to be... and oil. So check this out, guys. Fengfeng, aka Redhair, has put oil on the front, which is going to slow movement speed by 55%. They want to put a Degen Wraith over there as well, though actually... did they just... wait, what happened to Degen? Did I just see the game bug out? Okay, I think the replay just bugged out there. He's going to go oil, 55% slow. Degen Wraith is going to do a 40% slow. And you've got the bonus damage from the Degen and the bonus damage from the acid. Dude, this is going to be insane. The oil got cancelled, though. Did he forget to use the oil, guys? Did he forget to use the oil? What happened? I'm so confused. It seemed like the replay just bugged. Oh, it was the undo button. So it's my first time commentating. I've never even used it was the undo button. Oh, okay. So he's been canceling. He was thinking about doing it, decided not to. Guys, we're going to watch on half speed just for a second to see how this goes. He didn't end up missiling the Rhino on the right side. He's trying to go for a flank back there as well. Conclusion is trying to come in from all sides right now. Wraith on the flank, though, ready for it. And you can see the War Factory much slower to get forwards. But the problem here is it outranges the Scorpions. The Scorpions can't get any acid. How are you going to kill that War Factory? You can barely even land a hit on it before it annihilates you. Look, it doesn't even take attacks. The tower goes down to the Rhino, though. Does that tower snipe help? I think it's in acid right now. Remember, it takes 3% damage per second. That it's in acid as well. Is that going to be enough? It's taking really big damage. Let's get back to regular game speed, as the half speed does always look a bit jittery. And the War Factory goes down. This Rhino on the right side. Conclusion needs to deal with that Rhino, dude. Putting units in the corners is cute, but this Rhino is ruining Conclusion. The Mustangs will take out the Wraith, or will they? Oh, the tower debuff. And look at this Hero Rhino coming in, man. That Hero Wraith as well, tanking so much damage. Doing so much. The Wraith finally goes down. But of course, it looks like this is going to be... I think the Fangs can beat the Phoenix with so many crawlers underneath. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's more Fangs on the left as well underneath the corpse. And that's going to be that, guys. Redhair survives for another round. That's going to be that. Made it sound like the game ended. That's not what's happening at all. So, the War Factory can become level 3 this turn, but that's even more centralization in one unit. Melters, Overlords, Fire Badges, Fortress. Best bet here for Redhair is not actually necessarily the Melter. It could be, but I think you want EMP rather than anything else, right? EMP is probably... no, he's going to go range. Okay, we're still going to go range to try to actually kill the War Factory. Do we go range on the Scorpions as well? I feel like the Scorpions are a big investment that aren't super paying off. I guess they are tanking a little bit. He's going to go Photon Fast here. Oh, Conclusion's going to go Photon Fast here. That's going to protect it from Acid and EMP for the first 20 seconds of the round. Only 20 seconds. It's going to make the War Factory hit hard and be more effective at the start, but after that, it will be just as vulnerable as always. Oil's going to go down. We've also got the Subterranean Blitz. This allows the Crawlers to take 55% less damage, which means, especially against Mustangs, the primary chaff clear of Conclusion, those Mustangs are going to really struggle to kill these Crawlers, especially the level 2 ones. The Wraiths obviously are going to wreck these flanks. Top right flank is not really achieving too much. It's just distracting Crawlers. It will get overrun. The Rhino is finally being dealt with, by the way, by the Fortress pick. So it looks like took the 2 forts, sold one of them. The Fortress should be able to kill a level 2 Rhino, at least especially with the help of some chaff and this missile. But I feel like the oil plus the degen is a problem. I think he wants the Farseer to kill that Wraith as quickly as possible. It's a damage item Wraith, which I don't see every day. It's only got 75 meter range. Both sides are borrowing money, paying for range, paying for movement speed, paying for all the good stuff. Missile in the corner, missile there on the Rhino. The entire flank gets annihilated. Only the sledges in the corner surviving for a few seconds longer, but even then only a few seconds longer. But this War Factory, it's getting stuck here in the oil. It's about to roll out of the shields into the acid. Its photon emission is protecting it for now, but the melter has tracked on, and that's a problem. Farseer does take down the first Wraith, but there's another Wraith on it. The melter gets the maximum charge. The War Factory gets obliterated. It gets deleted. Redhair, aka Fengfeng, is up a game in this series. But, you know what? The Mustangs are actually doing pretty well. Dude, I thought this was going to turn super against Conclusion in this round. But now it's just Melters against Mustangs. They really struggle against the Mustangs. The Mustangs are getting through. There are crawlers that are going to get the tower snipe, maybe, but that tower did get upgraded. And we're also going to get a tower snipe about the same time. Tower debuff does come in, but the Melter can only kill one unit at a time. So even though it's killing these units pretty fast, it's going to have the tower debuff on it, and it's going to just get wrecked. Look at how much damage it takes. Still a Farseer in there, as well as a lot of Mustangs. And really nice play for Conclusion here, protecting that War Factory. At this point, though, I wonder, does it ever become time to sell it and pivot War Factories to the right side, or do we just have to commit? How can we get more chaff in front of it? Do we need more crawlers from the back line to come in delayed? Do we need some wasps? Maybe some wasps in the back corner to get in front of that War Factory to distract the Melter. You just don't want them to die to the Wraith, first of all. Redhair is still alive, by the way. Sorry, I forgot how low Redhair was. I didn't realize they might die there. Lightning Storm coming in for Fengfeng, aka Redhair. Conclusion is going to go for probably... I mean, you're going to go Lightning Storm as well, surely. Surely you both storm the shit out of each other, right? It's such a good spell. It's such a good spell. It's even better than Nuke, in my opinion, because you don't have to wait 15 seconds. It instantly is going to... I mean, you can drop barriers here to partially protect against it. Also, I wonder if we set this on fire. Is there any fire for Redhair? Does Redhair bother setting this on fire to try and clear the chaff? I feel like chaff hasn't really been that big of a problem. Oh, 2 more War Factories on the right. Now, there is a Melter there. Problem... Big problem. There's already... okay, I was going to say the barrier, a Rhino, and 2 crawler squads, and no chaff clear. I actually think that Melter is going to kill both of these. Oh, I think this is game. This is game. I'm hoping the replay doesn't break in this final round. I'm pretty sure Conclusion's dead, right? Conclusion needs to place his own Lightning Storm as well, but I just feel like this right side... I mean, don't get me wrong. War Factories do crazy damage. Maybe they'll just bust through and kill the Melter quickly enough. Going to be tough. That Melter's going to track on very quickly. He does it. Crawlers and a barrier. Okay, thankfully he goes for the crawlers and a barrier, which means that's going to slow down the Melter massively. Okay, actually, I think he might crush the right side now. If he didn't have chaff in front, it was going to be a problem. Lightning Storm on both sides. Degen Wraiths. This right side is the new thing. We're going to see what happens over there, guys. The Melter is struggling because of the crawlers in front of it. The War Factory is going to blast through that right side. The left side of both players is getting obliterated. The shield is protecting some of these Mustangs, but the other barrier already got broken down. And the Lightning Storm doing so much damage. But look at that. Beautiful tower debuff timing. The handful of Mustangs and the Farseer are defending the oil. The oil is actually being used against the enemy who initially cast it. Melter tracks onto the War Factory. War Factory says, I don't give a shit, and just charges in and kills it before it takes barely any damage. I mean, it took 30,000, but not that much. Not for a War Factory. And if they get another tower debuff, War Factory gets tracked though. Plus acid lands. But the debuff does land, but guess what? The War Factory is in the acid, was tracked. The fortress is now tracked. That's going to go down. This other War Factory went walkabout in the corner. That War Factory screwing around. And it feels like Redhair is going to survive for yet another round as the last bits of chaff do disappear. It's just going to be a Wraith, a Scorpion, and a Melter. It should make quick work out of this 135 meter range War Factory. That's right now, it's shooting some chaff units that are in here. I don't know exactly what it is. There's something under that War Factory carcass. Conclusion, taking more damage, and it is very close to lethal for both players. Both sides are going to take Incendiary here as we enter round 10, which could be absolutely devastating. Now, that is actually the Incendiary of Conclusion who sells his War Factory. He's going to probably try and mobile beacon a bunch of these units over to the right side, I would imagine, and pivot to that side. Wasp Swarm does get used offensively, it looks like, by Redhair. Fengfeng's hoping to catch him off guard here, but I think those fangs will beat a wasp squad, right? Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so he's gonna grab this side and then move them over there. Okay. I thought he'd try to save the Farseer and like the higher level guys. So what's funny is he's gonna burn himself, guys. They're both throwing the incendiary on this side. The oil gets used by Conclusion, who's gonna, oh wow. So Conclusion's gonna focus on the right and he's creating a cage. He's like, dude, whichever way these guys go, they're gonna have to go through fire to get out of your corner. Oh my gosh. Remember, the oil already got used by Redhair, aka Fengfeng. That's going to cost him big time. Now, these Mustangs will have the Wasp Swarm on top, which will actually kill quite a few of the Mustangs. But obviously, you'll be fine. Level 1 Mustang going down is not the end of the world. Steel ball production is now there. You can produce up to 11 steel balls if the battle goes long enough and they survive long enough. Melters on the back line on this right side. Sold the front one. Good choice there. The incendiary, dude, there is so much fire on this left side of the map. This is going to be absolutely crazy. Of course, a lot of Conclusion's own units will go into the fire as well. The Mustang's doing really good, but they do start to run into the fire themselves as well. Tower debuff goes down, but is it going down too early? Wasps running in. The Wasps were meant to distract the Melters, and they do okay at it, but the Wraith does come forward. Does clear quite a few of them. The steel ball production is a huge problem for the Melters. And since the Melters don't have any chaff left, that's an issue. Tower debuff goes down, but the balls have already locked onto that Melter. Only one War Factory left, though. I thought there would still be two, but it looks like that one did get tracked. These Melters, with their massive 170-meter range, only 135 meters for the War Factories. But one Melter falls. As long as that War Factory's got stuff in front of it, he's going to blast through these Melters. The moment he gets in range, he kills the Scorpion. The Scorpion doesn't even get a chance to shoot, man. They shot up here, not getting any acid in front of him. The Degen Wraith goes down, which means massive speed boost and damage boost for him, but the Melter already takes him out. Takes out a Phoenix. Takes out the other Phoenix. Oh no! The Melter's gonna win! Redhair's gonna survive for another round despite the oil fire. Fengfeng is gonna win with a level 3 Melter against a handful of level 1 Mustangs. I cannot believe we're getting around 11. I thought this would be a decider. 350 life for Conclusion, 142 for Fengfeng. What in the shizzle fizz? I have no idea what to do with decision making at this point. I am no longer analyzing. I am shouting about things that are happening on the screen, okay? This is a banger. This is only game 2 of the season finals. Ooh, Raiden gets taken as opposed to the level 3 Vulcan. He's going to mobile beacon this guy backwards, is he? No, he sells him. I was thinking about it. Ooh. All right, split mechanical division on the balls. Massive, massive boost. Almost surprising he didn't have that before. Conclusion, I think, kicking himself that he forgot it. He puts a War Factory back on the left side again now. He's like, you know what? Let's remake that bad boy. Borrowing money. Temp range, temp movement speed. No temp movement speed for Fengfeng. I think Fengfeng's happy to sit back with this Melter, Scorpion, Arclight, Subterranean Crawler setup. Also, by the way, level 3 crawlers. Look at this. Has been leveling up his crawlers consistently against the Mustang heavy board. But the Mustangs are pretty good. Level 4, level 4, level 3. Some level 2 Mustangs there. Some level 2 Mustangs over here. Oh, look at this, guys. He's got Sprinkler Hounds. So he's going to actually try and use the Hounds to clear any acid and things like that he's walking into. He's also got a Farseer there for photon emission. Missiles going down for Ferry. Ferry's got these Wraith, Melter, Arclight, Scorpion. He's finally clicked range on the Scorpions as well, which I think is going to be a massive, massive boost. And it is absolute madness. Let's go. Final round right here, right now. It almost certainly has to be the final round. War Factories trying to push forward. The photon emission on them is really helping. Those Phoenix doing pretty good damage from the skies. 400,000 damage on that one Phoenix squad so far. The Wraiths still do not have range. Only the Degen Aura. So they aren't doing that much long range shaft clear. But once they do land it, it's pretty good. Melters clear the front right, top right War Factory. Left War Factory gets tracked on, gets taken out by the acid. This acid doing really well. The click on range on the Scorpion's helping, but the balls have breached. The balls have breached the left tower. It goes down. There's still a War Factory spamming out balls. Remember, the balls are spawning crawlers as they die. This is a massive problem. There is not enough chaff clear because the Wraiths, the moment the Wraiths were cleared, there is no answer to the Mechanical Division balls. And Conclusion, by clicking Mechanical Division, has made a complete game changer. That was the big difference this round. Every ball that died spawned 5 crawlers. And the Wraiths were dying too quickly. I don't know if range would have changed that at all. I don't know if anything like that would have made a difference. All right. All right, guys, going into the next game. Game 3. Tied up 1-1. Marksman spec, that's very defensive, not conclusion style. Conclusion probably goes, does he go fortified spec here? Giant spec's playable, marksman spec's playable. I do think Fengfeng has, oh, okay, yeah, we are going to go the Tarantula, fortified spec. Fortified spec, not my favorite, but hey, pairs pretty well with Tarantulas at the start. Void Eyes, though, not a popular unit right now. No one's really that successful with them, but I don't think they're the worst thing to just hang out as a starting unit. And since they did get a hit point buff, hey, they're almost 1,300 hit points apiece, which is, it's not nothing. They one-shot hounds, right? So I guess they're actually kind of decent against hounds and sledges, right? So this is like the sort of lineup you kind of want to play them against. Now, it is Rhino spec, of course, for Fengfeng, who's up on the top side, guys, in the red. Red is always on the top, blue is always on the bottom. And yeah, it looks like we're going to go... And Tarantula Void Eye is kind of the optimal Void Eye start, because the Void Eyes have 10 more range, so they hug right behind the Tarantulas. Problem I run into is missiles hitting the Tarantula always kill them. Stormcaller missiles always hit the Void Eyes if they're right behind the Tarantulas. So I kind of like the idea... At first, I was always putting them right behind the Tarantula. I kind of like the idea of not putting them directly behind the Tarantula now, which I think is part of why Conclusion's doing it this way. So the way the unlocks work in this game, Xantha, so we've got a question about how do unit unlocks work in Mechabellum. Basically, you can unlock 1 unit a turn. There are a few special units. They cost, some units are free to unlock, some cost a little bit, some cost a lot. There are a few specialty units you can only get if you pick a certain specialist or if a unit drop offers them. But they're not like dominant units, they're kind of like specialty units, you know? I think they're called rare or something like that, or unique units, something like that. All right, guys, the Void Eyes, as you can see, doing pretty good against the hounds and the sledges. There's no chaff on the board. So, hey, I mean, the Tarantula, better as a chaff clear unit, though it's decent against anything. It's good against hounds as well. But the Void Eyes, their shots are doing really, really well. And, of course, the extra tankiness on the Tarantula, that fortified 17% hit point boost does help out. And that's also something which helps out long term. In a long game, 17% hit points just adds up value over time. So, like... One thing you can think about here is this helps ground units, air units, everything. What does this work best against? Fortified spec makes things like Typhoons and Mustangs significantly weaker against this specialist. So Fengfeng's going to be like, I don't know, man. Do I really want to invest in Mustangs or Typhoons units with like slow incremental damage? They're going to really feel the 17% hit points. On the other hand, you've got Melters. You've got Charge Shot Phoenix. Things that do massive amounts of damage aren't as worried about playing against fortified spec. It also means any crawler versus crawler battle, Conclusion is going to absolutely dominate, right? So even if you get yourself the first hit point upgrade to give 15% extra life to your units for 100 cost, that's not as much as 17%. So the enemy crawlers are still going to win for Conclusion. So Conclusion has a few things like mirror matchups go his way between units. Low incremental damage units not as good against him. There are bonuses to it. I just find it's a bit hard to factor in how that adjusts your strategy. Speaking of which, guys, we've got, look at that, deployment module gets taken and immediately takes 2 Stormcallers. Why? Stormcallers are amazing against Fangs, good against Tarantulas. Like I said, they're pretty good against the Void Eyes when they're clumped up with your other units as well. And because he's got the deployment module, he can do the YOLO Stormcaller. Get an instant snipe on the tower at the very start of the round, kill a ton of stuff while they're paralyzed, and the next round he just puts deployment module on it and moves it up over here into the center somewhere. So this is actually really friggin' cool. Chat says, I think if you put the Void Eyes 2 spaces behind the Tarantula is correct. It also works better when they start flying. Yeah, I mean, for dodging a missile, I don't know if 2 spaces is enough. I think you'd want to go 3, but the thing is, like, depending on when the missile hits it and things like Stormcaller missiles, they're still going to end up clumping behind them anyway, unless you get range. Now, he did upgrade the tower, actually, which is really clever, because it's going to tank a bit more, and it'll reduce the paralyzed duration by 2. I think this volley gets it, though. Oh, it doesn't! That volley didn't fully hit. So he's actually going to kill most of this before the Stormcaller gets it. Dude, this is a good round for Conclusion. Considering your opponent took deployment module, whilst you, I think Conclusion skipped, right, guys? So Conclusion gets a money bonus off this round. You're expecting to get wrecked this round. Instead, you're actually going to kill a lot of these units. That's actually really good. Chat saying, oh yeah, the Void Eye looks really good. It's visually pleasing. It's laser. Even though the Void Ray sucks, their sound effect and visual graphics are awesome. I totally agree, guys. I mean, the Abyss came out in the previous patch. It's a hulking titan. One of the coolest intro videos they had of that with the trailer for it when they were announcing the unit. Came out, wasn't very inspiring, but it looks cool. And now that they've buffed it a little bit and it's like got its spot in the meta, I actually love the new units they've added in this game. They're very thematic, very cool. Conclusion goes to the level 3 Phoenix. I mean, it's just the logical pick here, the level 3 Phoenix. Thinking about Melter because of the Fortified Tarantula, maybe? Is that... I don't think you... I'm going Melter this early is kind of crazy, but hey, he's going to do it. He's like, screw these Tarantulas. That's going to be a level 2 Tarantula this turn. It's going to be 33,000 hit points that he knows is a big problem, and he's like, Phoenix will take a few volleys to kill it, whereas if we get a Melter, we can take care of it. This is interesting because... the crawlers on the flank are going to wreck that Melter, unfortunately, unless he puts some hounds over here or something as well. And right now, he's going Mustangs. Mustangs into fortified spec is really interesting, guys, because, like I said, you've got less more hit points on this side. So Conclusion should do better significantly in the Mustang war just from having that little bonus, right? They both do the same damage, but it's like, hey, I got 60 more hit points. Your guys are going to struggle way harder to kill. Look at this, 324 hit point crawlers. Normal crawler is nowhere near that. It's like 270 or something. It's just incrementally going to make the Mustang build up harder for Redhair, but I think Redhair is just basically saying, look, I think you're going to go Wasps this turn. Predicted wrong. It is actually the Tarantula. And look at this clump for Conclusion, though. I don't really like Conclusion being so clumped on one side because he's vulnerable to spells. On the other hand, a lot of units not being that effective on the left side. Beautiful missile clears the Mustangs that would have otherwise gone for the tower. And these Mustangs on the right side are tanking against the Melter. The Phoenix can take care of the Melter as well. One more Phoenix shot and that Melter goes down. There we go. Really nice start here for Conclusion. Now, neither side is paid for movement speed or range or anything. It's only round 3. That would be kind of crazy to dump money into something that early. When you don't have a lot of money this early, you've got lots of units and upgrades you'd like to spend it on. This level 2 Tarantula. It's very tanky, man. The Fortified Spec doing pretty well. I got to question the Mustang commitment. I do think the Mustang commitment for Fengfeng is a big mistake here. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I feel like we're maybe misplaying. Rhino's going to come out with it, which is interesting. All right. Mustang production line is going to be pretty good on the Melter. I think you take that as Fengfeng. Portable shield's good, nano repair's good. These are both good items on Giants, but production lines are just usually amazing. You're already committed to Mustangs, so I imagine you take that, chuck it on this Melter, click range. I mean, you don't have to commit. You could not commit any more to Mustangs and pivot. Sledgehammers! Conclusion's going to go Sledgehammers. Why? Fortified spec. You get repair on those. They're amazing against Mustangs. And they're just a good tanky unit to be a nuisance. And he's going to layer those down the right side. They're semi-chaff clear units as well. Problem, that level 2 Rhino is going to come through and try to kill this tower. But look, the sledges, vertical sledges, just to delay on this left side and protect that tower. Good choice. And the whole idea is we want all of our units as Conclusion here. We want these units to be somewhat wasted. High explosive Mustangs! Splash damage Mustangs. They do 30% less damage, but 7 meter splash range. So it's Mustangs for chaff clear. Wow, I did not expect this at all, guys. This is a crazy choice. I haven't seen this in a while. Redhair are playing a really cool style. Mustang chaff clear. Wow. Okay, I don't know how this goes. We're going to find out. Chat saying Conclusion's 100% going to War Factory again. I would not be surprised. He's setting up in a position where a War Factory would do really well. Maybe that's part of why the Melter's going to do well. He's got the Mustang production line on that Melter, so it is producing Mustangs, and the debuff's going to come in really effectively here. You can see the Mustang Splash doing pretty well in the Mustang mirror. I mean, obviously the Paralyze is massively helping out there. But yeah, this is so interesting because explosive Mustangs, yeah, they're pretty good chaff clear. They will obviously get stuck on a War Factory pretty bad. The idea being you've got enough small, different splash chaff clear units that are all going to clear the chaff and allow your Melters to track on. I think essentially Redhair's whole analysis is I am setting up to allow my units to track onto the war factories that you've been spamming. Double Wraith going to come in for conclusion. Saber's the best money value along with the Wraith. They both give 600 supplies. The Wraith also gives you the 50 unlock cost, so I guess it gives you more. And both sides are going to go Wraith. It's going to be... Oh, offensive degen Wraith! Cool! Okay, that's going to... I mean, the Mustangs are going to do so little damage whenever they're in range of that. Dude, this is cool. There is space for a war factory here, guys. You'll notice a nice space. But it's degen Wraith against degen Wraith, guys. This is a battle of the degens. Remember that degen aura? 40% movement speed within 120... Sorry, within 120 meters, all enemies get minus 40% movement, minus 20% attack, and they'll take 30% bonus damage. More Mustangs coming in. These Mustangs haven't leveled at all. They are struggling to get experience. Only that right side Mustang squad really doing very well on the experience. Meanwhile, on the south side, the standard range Mustangs doing a little bit better. We do have subterranean blitz crawlers all ready to try and tank against these Mustangs. Fair enough. I mean, they only do 25 damage per shot. Minus 55% plus the degen aura. It feels like, wow, yeah, this is really smart because degen plus subterranean kind of wrecks Mustangs as chaff clear, but oil... Oh, that oil is going to be really effective because these units are so stacked, and this is a really good time to go oil. Crawlers are on the flank there, guys. You can see they get cleaned up, but it does distract a lot of army down this bottom side. The Wraith starting to get tracked on. Wraith goes down on the right side. The other Wraith tanking really nicely, but is there enough damage behind it with the oil there slowing down the advance? This feels really awkward. Mustangs and Phoenix trying to do well, but look at this tower debuff. Tower debuff coming in on the left side of our screen, guys. The Rhino's going to take it out. Yes, the Wraith went down, but this is a really big round for Redhair again. Staving off this advance. The Stormcaller missiles doing well. The Mustangs as the chaff clear. The Marksman getting levels. And that Melter locking onto that level 2 Tarantula. Oh, it feels like things are stalling out for conclusion now. This oil being a 2-turn use is just so effective against these sort of stacked up attacks. Do you go War Factory on the next round as conclusion? Because you're going to lose all your chaff. So it doesn't... If you do, you have to go War Factory on the left side. Could do it. Conclusion takes Ion Blast. Really good ability here against stacked up defense. Efficient Light is good. Ion Blast is good. I mean, Ion Blast would be really good on these guys. Ion Blast is amazing on both sides. He's going to throw it, I assume, from right to left to try and take this Wraith out at the very start and then go across the rest of the line. Or maybe he starts there and then goes that way. I'm not quite sure. Gonna go for a Vulcan. Remember, it's not a giant spec. That's 200 to unlock, plus 400 to build the Vulcan. I think he might mobile beacon it backwards, maybe. Could do that. Quite sure. No War Factory decisions coming in for conclusion. Conclusion. Gonna go for more Mustangs here. Not spreading across the board, though. Which means we're basically eating a massive round loss. Oh, no. We're gonna pull some units away. So we're gonna pull Mustang, Phoenix, Void Eye, Wraith, and some crawlers around to the left side. And then we're going to hope that these units that are occupied with the crawlers maybe don't run into the fire too quickly. This fire is still going to be really brutal. This fire is going to be very, very brutal, man. Oh, it actually tells you which way it's going? Oh, there's like an arrow. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So it's going to start on the right and then move to the left. I didn't even realize there was like a marker on this. Thank you, chat. I'd never noticed that. +2 defense coming in against the enemy Mustangs. Enhanced range. Borrowing money, enhanced range here as well. But of course, the Vulcan sets everything on fire. The Rhino drop comes down on the flank. That Ion Beam in the top right gets rid of a Wraith. Starts to clear a lot of Mustangs. It's going to do really good damage to the Melter. I just don't know if it'll kill the Melter. Mustangs are unfortunately getting pushed. We've got some crowd surfing Mustangs getting pushed through, but the Vulcan will still die to those Mustangs, and a lot of these units will move into the fire as well. This Wraith does aggro some Mustangs around the fire, unfortunately for Conclusion. Conclusion has some Phoenix on the left side, some Mustangs. Is going to do okay here. It's a pretty close round. Obviously, with the fire, Fengfeng will win. But it doesn't look like it's a game win. It's just going to be a lot of damage to an already very wounded Conclusion that is struggling to get control over this game. We're going to lose a Phoenix. Yes, we are. I thought he'd at least kill the Marksman as well, but it looks like that Marksman will get the Phoenix. And level 3 marksman, reasonably tanky against a few level 1 Mustangs, actually. Ouchies. Okay, gets the marksman. So it's going to be about, what, 350, 550, maybe 600 damage here in total. Still pretty damn painful. That does cost. Remember, the Mustang production there, that melter is just producing Mustangs all around long. Portable shield coming in for Fengfeng. Conclusion goes for the shield airdrop. It's going to go for the back corner. Shield airdrop's pretty good for flanking, but look at this, guys. Range Vulcans have come in now. Portable shield on the front one as well. So you've got a crazy set of chaff clear. You've got degen Wraiths. You've got high explosive Mustangs. You've got range Vulcans. The only thing really missing on Redhair's side is single target damage, which is, there is a massive dearth of single target damage. There is only one melter. But Conclusion is so wary of that melter, is so wary of melters in general, we haven't seen things like war factories. And one has to wonder, yeah, I mean, this makes sense, right? If your opponent, if you've got the best chaff clear, your melter is going to be really effective. In this case, it's not melters, it's your melter. It's your single melter. Phoenix are going to click range. There's a level 4 on the right, level 1 on the left. Kind of feels like Fengfeng's got this, though. I don't know if you can win this. Deployment module goes on the Vulcan, which moves to the right, and then he moves back to the left. He keeps changing his mind. 30 seconds left. These players don't have long to finish deploying their units. This is a game where even top-level players constantly are running low on time and being forced to rush their decisions. Even though it's not a real-time strategy, it often plays like it in terms of the fact that you are kind of like, oh god, I gotta do things right now. There is a lot of things going to go down. This round could decide the game. Fengfeng gets a round win. It's probably game over. Conclusion, trying to run backwards with some of these units, throws more Mustangs down, throws down more Phoenix. It's Phoenix Mustang Wraith here. And are we getting... Okay, looks like that actually is a quick blast down to that Vulcan. The barrier's keeping these Mustangs alive really well, and the range Mustangs are going to smash the high explosive Mustangs in a head-to-head, right? Because of their superior range is really big, but that Wraith coming in on the right side is going to be potentially a game changer. Wraith on the right side, no, it gets blasted by the level 4 Phoenix. Oh my gosh! That Vulcan on the left starts to do some big damage, but not enough. The Sledgehammers in the front waste its time. It gets stuck on them. Dude, just regular range Mustangs are actually winning really hard. That's crazy. Both players borrowed and paid for range, by the way. So yeah, at this point, the Mustangs are an issue. Fengfeng has 2,000 life left, has oil coming back next turn. Stormcallers, Steel Balls, Tarantulas, so many valuable leveled units. And it is tempting to go armor balls, man. Because Vulcans, Mustangs, I mean... Wraiths, armor balls is so... I would be tempted to just click armor on these balls. Was what's going to kill them? The melter will kill them. The marksman will kill them. The enemy balls will kill... I don't know. I would be very tempted to click armor balls here. But looks like we're just going to sell one. We're going to borrow money, pay for range. Will Conclusion. On the other side, Fengfeng. Put the balls in front of the Mustangs to kind of shield them. Adding more Vulcans and adding Incendiary. He basically is saying, look, if I can just burn down these Mustangs, I win this game, dude. If I get rid of the Mustangs, the melters will win it for me. That's all I need to do. Question is, can you actually pull it off? Incendiary is a god tier ability at low level. Pyromaniac here for Fengfeng, aka Redhair. It's called Redhair because his fire's always on hair because he's a crazy pyromaniac. I have seen him use Incendiary a lot at the top level for these like round winning surprises. He does click armor on the balls. We sold one of them, but then we changed our mind and clicked armor. I think we should have done that earlier. Looks like, oh no, we put one over here as well. Maybe we made another one. I don't know. It's War Factory armor balls looking to shove the right side. There's a level 3 melter producing stuff. There's Vulcans there with range and Incendiary. This is going to be crazy. The fire is going to burn down a lot of stuff, but this front line is going to crumble to the balls and the War Factory. No corner action going on for either side. Not really. The balls, the Wraiths diving forward. The Vulcans get obliterated. But the fire's already gone down. The chaff is getting cleared so quickly. War Factory dives forward. Can it clear the melter? That melter's getting shot. That melter's getting shot. It's getting targeted. It's tanky. It's 130,000 hit points of true awesomeness. The War Factory, can it get it? It gets it. Gets the melter down, which means there's only one melter left. If that melter goes down, there's no answer to the War Factory. Conclusion. Once again has gone War Factory much later than we expected this time, but he's got a sick Mustang Wraith Phoenix board to back it up. And that is a devastating... Dude, is that lethal? Almost 1800 damage. Oh my gosh. What? That's insane. All right, guys, conclusion. Has choices to make. Advanced defensive might be the thing. It doesn't take it. I'd be tempted to, just to make the balls, the war factory, everything even tankier. But I think he's like, look, I've got more important things to spend my money on. I'm going to take range and launcher overload on the war factory to give it crazy damage. Meanwhile, we've got diffraction on the melters. So Fengfeng's going to try to use the split lock-on for the melters to take down these balls because he was realizing, oh shit, I don't have any way of clearing the balls otherwise. Like, armor balls is so big. Like I said, armor balls is massive. Like, it's absolutely huge. Yeah, they've forced him into diffraction. And the problem is now the melters only have 140 range. The war factory has 135. Dude, you're barely outranging the war factory. If the war factory tracks onto these melters, it's going to obliterate them. Oh, this is really scary. I wonder if he should be going EMP. I really don't know. EMP barrage, like I said, it can be hit, it can be miss. But this round decides everything. Incendiary is going to be brutal again. The oil goes down very defensively here. And that's gonna burn everything on this right side. Can the melters hold is the question. Can the melters hold? The Vulcan that was up front got sold here. Incendiaries go out. This is absolute madness. If that war factory can break these melters before they break it, it's going to be a game changer. The melters and the balls having a bit of a duel. The melters take massive damage. And they get blasted too. But wait, the melters tracked on? The melters tracked onto the war factory. Can it kill it? The war factory, it has 2 beams on the war factory. The rest is on crappy units. The war factory is taking big damage. The war factory gets the paralyze and it gets the kill on the melter. Even though the fire burnt everything down. And the Phoenix Mustang will kill the left side, and then they'll come and clear this Wraith up. That war factory ain't dying. If that war factory... Yep, you're dead. That's it. Conclusion has gotten so good at using these carry war factories. And once again, we are seeing sick comebacks abound in this series, as well as very close games. This truly is a match deserving of the Grand Finals. Conclusion is about to take a 2-1 lead, ladies and gentlemen. The belief in the range Mustangs over the high explosive Mustangs. Was the high explosive Mustangs a massive mistake, or was it the correct play? You let me know in the comment section. I tend towards it being a mistake because of the fortified spec, but then I think there was a few things that went right for conclusion. Wraith drop with degen plus subterranean blitz crawlers. Suddenly your Mustangs are really crappy at chaff clear, right? They're just not good at it. Unless you had a really good level advantage, you're like, oh damn, I'm not even going to upgrade these much anymore or get range or anything because they're so weak. Their damage reduction is too big, right? They're not doing enough, right? You're fighting into a fortified spec guy. Oh, he's got plus 17% life. Oh, and we're doing 55% less damage. Oh, and we're doing, was it 30? 20% less damage when we're near the Wraith as well. Like, it just felt like the Mustangs got hard counted by the Wraiths. And then them and the Vulcans also got counted really hard by the level 2 steel balls coming in, which are also really good against the melters. I think the Wraiths and then the balls, both drops you could argue just favored the conclusion rather than Fengfeng, because this was going way in Fengfeng's favor, but then I think both of those helped conclusion a little bit more and did help him edge it out, but that is why we play a best of 7 in the finals here to figure out who's the better player. All right, guys, going to the next game, up 2-1 now. Conclusion on the comeback train has the Rhino spec Sledgehammer Arclight start. It's the ultimate chaff clear start, but luckily for Fengfeng, aka Redhair. I love how I've stopped from calling him Redhair to Fengfeng halfway through the cast because people in Twitch chat were confused. I'm like, oh no! To make it twice as confusing. Sorry, audience. Farseer spec, Sledgehammer, Marksman. Luckily, it's Fangs. Fangs are much better than Crawlers against Arclight Sledgehammer. You can see it because they don't clump up as much and they walk in kind of slowly. It takes a lot longer for the Arclights and the Sledges to clear them, which means if the slow chaff clear of these Sledges can get the work done, these Marksmen will have a chance to do some really good damage. But right side does crumble there for Fengfeng, aka Redhair, and that's going to go down as well. Do we have enough to clear the Fangs, though? Because this Marksman's going to do crazy damage. We speed this up. Look how much damage the Marksman does. Yeah. Once the Chaff's gone, the Marksman is the king. Single marksman's gonna kill all these units, man. Oh wait, are there some fangs under there or something? I think there's some fangs behind that arc. There's something under there getting shot by it. Maybe it was another sledgehammer. And that last sledgehammer goes down. Nice win. Round 1 for Fengfeng. It's very standard setup for Fengfeng. Playing real standard, real defensive. Conclusion, very close to the line, much more committed to the aggression. Improved Phoenix got nerfed, guys. Its attack reduction, attack boost got massively nerfed. Both sides are going to take the missile. Missile strike's a really good ability. And you're probably just going to put that over here. Take out the marksman, get most of the fangs, hit 1 or 2 of the sledges. That's usually the spot you go for. But no, he's actually going to go there. That's yeah, I would have gone over here. I guess getting the damage on the sledges is pretty big. Fair enough. The damage on the sledges, I noticed the high-level players prioritize that more rather than killing a marksman. That's cool. Obviously, this one would have been amazing, I think, because the arc light went down, but he didn't know the arc light was going to go down. Mustangs? Okay, conclusion's like, dude, you have fangs. Mustangs are good against fangs, and they can kind of farm experience on them a little bit. So he just gets a single squad of Mustangs on the flank that's going to help there. That arc light, oh, the double arc light. Dude, Fengfeng's playing like fairy, just setting up a real standard line of arc lights. He'll put 1 there and 1 there later so that he's not vulnerable to flanks here or anything on this left side coming in. Very cool, very cool. This is a good missile. Full sledge squad, and you get most of the crawlers. That one there is going to get most of the sledge squad. 4 sledges damaged and 1 marksman. This was 4 sledges, most of a crawler squad, and the arc light got hit. Mustangs, they run in the right side. They would have wrecked these fangs. Instead, they get wrecked by the arc light. So the early Mustang commitment, big waste of money on this round, achieves nothing. And Redhair absolutely waffle stomps round 2. I mean, this was a one-sided just smashing. And you're very far forward. You can pivot to a long-range game here, or a semi-long-range game as conclusion. It's obviously a bit awkward because you're so far forward. You could try to go storms or something here, but it's going to be weird. I'm so curious how conclusion pivots, because so far it's not working. Going to take the level 3 fire badger. I mean, remember, whenever you take high level units, you get insane stats value. That's 45,000 hit points, as well as 3 very powerful splash damage units, even though their range isn't that great. Sandworm, similar hit points, nowhere near as good at chaff clear. So the Sandworm, just to have some tankiness, Sandworms are pretty good with arc light marksman sort of defensive standard setups, because they're just sacks of meat that go in front of you, because you don't have a lot of chaff. You don't have a lot of, you know, units out in general. You just want to, we'll throw a big meat sack. Remember that the Sandworm is a unit that gives the best hit points for its, out of all the giants. I think a Fortress is 44,000, a Vulcan's 35, 36,000, something like that. Sandworm level 1, 48,000 hit points. So it's one of the highest value in terms of the hit points. It's also got that nice popping in and out of the ground mechanic, which can work against you, can work for you. And we've got double range on the Mustangs coming in, which are really going to struggle with these Sandworms. The Fire Badgers are going to get absolutely shreked as well. Splash damage means it's hitting 2 at once. And even though the Mustangs are doing okay against some of these units, it just feels like these Sandworms are a real problem. But the Arc Lights went down pretty quickly, actually. So the range on the Mustangs really helping this round. No range on the defensive Arc Lights was kind of the issue. Still a win for Redhair, but gonna kill a Sandworm at least? Oh, dude, if you don't kill that Sandworm, that's tragic. I think we will change targets to it, surely. 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 Dude, that's 350 more damage we're gonna take. Oh my god, the 1 hit point Sandworm. Dude, that's like 1,500 damage on round 3. Is Conclusion dead? I mean, Conclusion's just gonna have to go War Factory earlier than he wanted to. War Factory with Launcher Overload is really good against Sandworms. So there's an argument that Fengfeng here is disrespecting the Sandworm choice. Because it's like, wait a second, War Factory wrecks Sandworm. Rhino, level 2 coming in finally here for the Rhino spec. Also pretty good at tearing up Sandworms. So have you been a bit disrespectful here of the strategy that you know Conclusion is jamming every single game in the semifinals? Every single game now. I mean, you know it's coming. The question is, can you stop it? Or is it actually broken right now? Or does Fengfeng not know the answer to it? I thought we would see a lot of Abyss against this, guys. I am very surprised. I talked about this in the semis, where Fairy tried to go Scorpion and Melter and got like kind of confused against the War Factory and died. And I was like, where's the Abyss? I thought Abyss is like a soft counter to the War Factory. And the fact that its missile ability counters Mustangs pretty nicely as well. I thought you'd just go defensive Abyss missile, Swarm missile. Now, maybe there's something I'm missing. There's something I'm going to have to ask guys like, you know, Forgotten Arbiter and these guys who have a really deep understanding of the game at the top level, what their thoughts are. Everyone has their own approach to the game. That's what's great about Mechabellum. It's not like everyone plays the same, right? So any other player here, they'd all try different things. Now, obviously, the fire comes down on both sides. It's going to smash all the little units, all the medium units burning down. I don't know if there's an answer to the War Factory, as a level 2 Worm doing some pretty good damage. Oh my gosh, and the Paralyze! Oh my gosh, we're not even... Okay, we killed the level 2 Worm, but dude, Conclusion, taking some pretty big damage. Still has a level 2 Rhino on the left, but I don't know how much more stuff you're going to be able to kill. Luckily, for Conclusion, the fire gets more time to work because of this. This is actually kind of good, because the Arc Light, the more... Yeah, okay, this round, I thought it was going to be devastatingly one-sided. The Worm obviously will survive the round, but maybe you'll kill a few more units. Oh, maybe not, actually. Farseer Sledges and the Worm should be able to take care of that Rhino. This Worm not turning, though. The Rhino's just outside of its range. Obviously, units have to take into account turning when it comes to changing their aggro target. Conclusion's going to take a lot of damage, though. Conclusion is in trouble. Obviously, even if you're a low-level player, guys, I'd love to hear your backseat info as well on what you think the players should do. Now, you can go Double Shot Saber, you can go Scorpion, you can go Steel Balls. Conclusion goes Steel Balls. Wasp's no option for Fengfeng. I feel like Scorpion hasn't really worked out that well. It's too hard to reliably hit the correct target, but it does counter the balls, so it would actually be kind of fantastic for that reason. I mean, I don't know. The Double Shot Saber, it's going to be too hard to hit. I think Scorpion's better than Double Shot Saber. Ends up taking the balls as well. Okay. So, it's Worm, Arclight, Marksman, Ball. The Arclight still don't have range, which might be an issue as time goes on. I'm not quite sure. Missiles going down for both sides. We're going to go for the very safe missile on the back crawlers, assuming the other ones are going to get, you know, blocked by a barrier or something like that. This missile obviously gets blocked by a barrier because that's just too juicy of a target. But you also have to aim for this, because on the off chance Conclusion forgets the barrier or doesn't go for it, you would just kill you'd actually be so upset that you didn't put the missile here. You'd be like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Why did I not kill a full Mustang crawler squad? Level 2 Mustangs, you know, you kind of have to go for it. So I understand that. These balls are going to get a quick tower snipe on the left. Conclusion might just lose this round unless he puts both of these guys over here, which it looks like he's going to. No, he puts the balls over there on the flank. Oh, okay, he does put missiles. I don't think that's enough. The balls have range. Armor, worms, range balls for Fengfeng. Also oil on the front. Fengfeng is in a good spot. Those balls will take a while to get through the Mustangs on the left side. Obviously, they're not good at chaff clearing. The War Factory trying to get through. There's nothing to set fire to the oil just yet. Adele was singing about setting fire to the rain. Right now, no one's setting fire to the oil. There is very little passionate fire and flaming in this game. The worms are obviously tanking the Mustangs like crazy, and those balls. Dude, once those balls track on, these sandworms surviving. Do we need launcher overload? The worms actually tanking so well. I think you need launcher overload on the factory to clear the worms. Problem is, that's GG. That's a quick shutdown. That is a quick shutdown. Takes the worms for tankiness and just boosts them, gets armor to shut down the Mustangs, and levels it early as well. Takes the balls with range as the actual anti-DPS for the War Factory. Yeah, and even though these balls didn't really get like an early tower snipe or anything, that's just a good defensive play. Shuts down the early rounds. And is Conclusion running into a wall now? Is Conclusion running into a wall? Has Conclusion pushed this style too far? And now Fengfeng's figured it out? Let's find out. All right. It's tied up 2-2. Redhair is going to be in the red. Conclusion in the top. I think Redhair, okay, goes Sabertooth, Spec, Sledge, Arclight. Very good chaff clear. Conclusion probably goes Farseer, Spec. Yeah, that's the aggressive. Conclusion likes being aggressive, likes being forward, likes being the one to get in a good position. And that's also a good way to set up for these forward war factories, right? So no surprise that we go ball crawler with the Farseer. We'll get on round 4 for free. Meanwhile, it's free Sabertooth on round 3. That's worth 100 less, even though it comes in a bit earlier. Sabertooth does get the cheaper upgrades, which is a nice bonus if you want to commit to Sabers, which you almost never do. But hey, if you go for like, you know, you get a high-level Saber drop, save a bit of supplies on clicking double shot. So it's kind of cool. So it's going to be Crawler, Arclight, Sledge. Now, you could argue Fangs is really good, but the Crawlers can be really nice because they help just jump on top of the enemy balls. That being said, the enemy Arclights will do well against them. The vertical Sledges are going to absolutely destroy against the balls. And you can see these balls, they're right in the corner. They would aggro this direction towards the tower and then these Crawlers, but it's also very dangerous to deploy in this corner. It also means you're not saving space for your War Factory. Actually, is this enough space for a War Factory, guys? How much space does a War Factory... Is that just enough? I mean, I think he's been pretty good about leaving space for a War Factory every single game. Can't imagine he's going to do it any different this time. Conclusion seems to have really optimized a certain strategy. And as it happens in strategy games, sometimes it just takes a while for players to figure it out. But that last game looked kind of dominant. And I think now that he's setting up really defensively, Redhair, Fengfeng may have just figured out, hey, if I've got a more defensive initial lineup, it's just easier to deal with this War Factory pivot. If I'm not deploying forward, I'm taking the really safe kind of Flower Fairy style, sledgehammers every single start. And he's going to get a nice round 1 victory here over Conclusion. This is Fengfeng, not Flower Fairy Activillain. Yeah. Chinese name, Flower Fairy is like 6 characters. This is Redhair or Fengfeng. Knocked Flower Fairy out in the semi-final. Sorry, if I called him Flower Fairy at some point, that was me just misspeaking because I'm a dum-dum. And I can't read Chinese, and I cast a lot of Flower Fairy games. Missile strikes on the way. Both players saying no to the Wasp Swarm. It's a pretty good one. Gonna get... Oh, the balls are getting sold out of. We're not gonna go fast here turn 2, are we? Don't be an idiot. It's kind of cool, though. He sold out the balls. It's gonna dodge the missile, which is nice. I think balls are so bad into vertical sledges. It makes sense to get rid of them. Surely you don't just go Mustangs, though. Mustangs aren't good against any of these units. Ah, Wasp Rhino pivot. We're going to pivot Wasp Rhino. Okay. On the line, though? On the line, this is so dumb. They're so easy to missile. Guys, is Conclusion trolling? Like, I get he's going to kill the tower and do some damage, but Mustangs! Oh my god. How did he go Mustangs on turn 2? Did he know that the Wasp pivot was coming? I mean, this sort of aggro start does sometimes go into Wasp Rhino. The Wasps seem very clumped on the front line, though, which is very vulnerable to missile. Maybe he's planning to sell out of them, or I guess he's got jump drive as well. Oh, he does have jump drive. Might be planning to jump drive these Wasps. Could also use an anti-missile device. But it really does commit them a lot. Unfortunately, I mean, this was meant to be a massive surprise round victory to get a lot of damage against Fengfeng and put Fengfeng on a timer. But instead, Fengfeng goes round 2 Mustangs and shuts it up. What? I mean, this is crazy. Fengfeng's going to skip. Smoke bomb's not bad. You could smoke this middle area. It's a 2-round boost. But I mean, you're just so screwed on your setup. I mean, your best bet now is to pivot into... You're going to sell these Wasps, obviously. And you need to pivot into anti-Mustangs. So guys, what beats Mustangs? 2-range Arc. He's going to make Arclights and try to swap into a standard game. But I like a more defensive, slow setup. Oh my god. Conclusion's in trouble right now, guys. This is... one of the pivots of all time. Pays for an attack upgrade, I guess, just to help the Arclights kill the sledges. I mean, this is going to be another devastating round 3 because these Wasps are worthless. Your board is just so weak because all these deployments wasted, right? You lost the Steel Ball, you lost a Wasp. You're going to mobile beacon these Wasps, so at least they come in delayed, but like, you're going to sell them next turn anyway? I mean, this feels terrible for Conclusion. Meanwhile, these Mustangs are always generically useful units. The Sledgehammers, generically useful tanking units. The Arclights, generically useful chaff clear. The Saber, generically useful. Like, this is all good in a lot of different ball states on the top of this board. The smoke is really nice. The smoke is super good to reduce the range for 2 turns on those units. And the Arclights, unfortunately, one of the Arclights tracks on the Saber. The other one tracks onto the Sledges, but this one will change targets and clear all these crawlers. Like I said, it's still going to be a devastating turn. Really powerful turn for Fengfeng. But what next? I mean, range Arclights with no actual levels on them. They're just now getting experience. Armor worm. You're hoping for like a worm drop and you'll take armor on it or something like that? I don't know. This is a disaster. He's gonna go double armor rhino probably. Maybe he goes 3 stormcallers actually. Maybe he goes Phoenix. Oh, both sides take Phoenix. I didn't even see the Phoenix. I was still considering what the board state was. Both sides have gone Phoenix, guys, and it looks like something got sold. I'm not sure what got sold by which side. It looks like it was Conclusion who sold something. Does anyone know what he sold? Because the wasps are still there. Oh, the Farseer. Oh, he sold the Farseer, and he's clicked range on the Phoenix. So it's range, Phoenix, and just more chaff. Fangs in front. Okay, and he'll mobile beacon the wasps backwards again. This is really rough. Yeah, if there wasn't a Phoenix drop, the Rhinos would have been nice. But because the level 2 Phoenix came out, he can't pick the Rhinos, as Boaz pointing out in the chat. Yeah, he sold one Wasp the previous turn. He sold the Farseer this turn. He'll sell the Wasps the next turn, and then the Balls the turn after that. And then he's at least got a vaguely generic kind of... He's got a more flexible board of Arclight Phoenix. Problem is he's just a bit behind on everything, and his life as a resource is being wasted on this botched early game. Whereas the Mustangs are gaining levels, and this is one of the big problems with Mustangs is if they can gain experience and gain levels, they scale so nicely, you know? 1-1 upgrades for Fengfeng. 1-1 also being taken by Conclusion. Oh, this is gonna be a wild one. No range for the Phoenix on Fengfeng's side. Feng's coming forward. Saber goes down real fast to those Phoenix. Arclight's doing a pretty good job. They are going to get enough experience to level in the near future. Phoenix are going to get exposed though. Even with the Arclights doing a pretty good job, there's still just a big chaff advantage. And the Mustangs acting as semi-chaff clear, semi-chaff. Just, you know, bit of everything. Those Wasps doing nothing except feeding experience. Conclusion's going to take another 1,000 damage here. He's on his last legs already as we go into round 5. Alright, EMP, portable shield, underground. EMP is really good here because you can land it on both an Arclight and a Phoenix as well as slow down the rest. Wait, what? Oh, that's the missile. Sorry, I got confused. I was like, how did he have 2 EMPs in one turn? I got confused. But yeah, this looks like Conclusion's pretty screwed, guys. If he can make this comeback, I will be so impressed. But 3 level 2 Mustangs with range, 4th Mustang squad, 5th Mustang squad. He's like, dude, my Mustangs are beating everything. Why would I do anything else? Because he's like, look, I've got a Saber. I've got 2 Phoenix. We are going to take the Vulcan descent, is Conclusion. So, okay, he's going to go backdoor Vulcan. Try to burn down the Mustangs, a bunch of chaff. I don't think he gets the tower snipe before the Phoenix kill him, but maybe the Phoenix have already tracked onto these guys by that point. I don't know. It's a desperation Vulcan descent. Conclusion is like, well, I need something to go my way. And maybe, just maybe, that'll be it. Is this his missile? That is his missile. It's going to not only clear the sledges mostly, it'll also hit a lot of those Mustangs, which is pretty good. He also has one here to clear these. So he's going to try and clear the sledges really fast. Because right now, the sledges have been distracting the Arclights for a little bit too long. So he wants to clear those as fast as possible, which makes sense. We do have subterranean blitz on the crawlers. There aren't that many crawlers on the board, but the Arclight in the back will deal with those crawlers. This missile is not going to kill these Phoenix because they do have +1 life. But it will kill a lot of crawlers and damage so much stuff. Barrier goes down to protect those Arclights. Very smart move. Good predictive barrier. Vulcan in the back door is going to be the big playmaker. If he survives this round, that Vulcan is the reason why. Vulcan already doing some big damage, clearing the Mustangs as well. These Phoenix did get EMP'd, but the other ones still have their range upgrade available. Arclights are doing okay. And that Arclight goes down. Vulcan, can he get the tower debuff? The Phoenix is going to take him out before he gets it. Youch! That hurts. If that Vulcan got the tower debuff, it's a very different game. As it is, you've only got a few crawlers, 1 Arclight, or 2 Arclights left. There's a level 2 there. If that Phoenix goes to the tower, maybe. And it does. It's going to need another full shot. And it does get it, but you've already lost everything else at that point, which means you're almost dead. And that's with building a barrier. 2 missiles and a Vulcan's descent. You just spent a ton of supplies to survive one more round as Conclusion. Things are looking bleak. I don't know. What do you take as conclusion? Probably you go for the Rays, I don't know, as a generic unit. Unupgraded marksman doesn't... Maybe the Storms. I think the Storms, but they're level 3. If it was like 3 level 1 or 3 level 2 squads of Storms, it might actually be doable. It's tough, though. Loose Crawlers coming in as well. Loose Crawlers. Fengfeng says, Loose Crawlers wreck Arclights. Arclights really struggle to kill these Crawlers when they go into Loose Formation. And that's his only chaff clear. So, Loose Formation is a great way to win this round before Mustangs or Vulcans or anything get out there. And he clicks Elite Marksman on the Arclights as well. Disastrous. Dude, Loose Crawlers, easiest round win of his life. I'm going to fast forward. I think we need to go to the next game. Conclusion is about to get absolutely pummeled into the ground by Crawler, Mustang, Phoenix. I do not see this being even vaguely competitive as a final round. Final countdowns there. Let's turn the game speed down. As we get into it, level 3 Mustangs, level 2 Mustangs. The missile will take out some Mustangs on the right side. Won't be able to kill the Phoenix. Phantom Rays are down there, but nothing watching the back flank. And most importantly, look at the Arclights struggling to kill these Loose Crawlers. They're taking so long to kill the Loose Crawlers as they come through. Those Phantom Rays did get missiled in the back, so they will take a while to kill the tower. But it doesn't matter. The Crawlers have done their job. There's so much stuff here. Conclusion is getting overrun. Fengfeng stabilizing against the aggro one-side starts. He's been doing asymmetric aggro starts into war factories almost every game. And it feels like at this point, Conclusion, is he a one-trick pony in this current finals, or can he pivot? Because he's on his last life. Fengfeng is up 3-2. All right, guys. Fengfeng, 1 game away from winning the whole series, is 100% going to go Giant Spec with the Sledge Fang. Could go for this one, Aerial Spec, but I think the Sledge starts have shut down the ball aggression. Conclusion is going to go Speed Spec. Arclight Ball again. And what do we take? Oh, we went Tarantula. Okay, Supply Spec is really good, especially when you're playing against this crazy aggro. And Tarantula Void Eye is actually a pretty good comp against ball aggression as well. So this is totally fine. I thought he was just going to go Sledgehammer and just turtle it up again and get that nice defensive setup. But you know what? I actually think Void Eyes are really good against ball aggression. I think this matchup against the ball aggression is actually really nice. Tarantulas clear crawlers really fast. Void Eyes clear balls really fast. It will take, I think, 3. Actually, 3 Void Eye shots does not kill a ball. It only does 4,200 life. But, I mean, if you got a Tarantula shooting it as well, basically 3 Void shots and 1 Tarantula shot combined to one-shot a Steel Ball. So, and normally that's going to be paired together. So it kind of works out that the 100 cost squad is like one shot, one shot, one shot, one shot. Now, obviously, it takes a little while to clear through 8 balls still, but it's only 300 supplies there of Void Eyes up against 400 supplies of Steel Balls. Let's see how it goes. Round 1. Obviously, got to clear the chaff before the Void Eyes do their job. Balls, actually, one of them tracks on, but it does get blasted before it gets much charge. And the Arclights tracking onto the Tarantulas is tragic for Conclusion. Oh, that's bad. Okay, you're going to need to put another Arclight further behind or some form of chaff clear. But this is a very rough start. If you guys both set up in front of each other, and one of you guys chaff clear kills all the other enemies' chaff automatically, while the other one basically is just like, I'm just going to shoot the big boy and the crawlers are going to mess up the rest of my army. It gets really rough. So does he build more Arclights? So Arclights aren't the best with these aggressive setups. Does he add a missile to fill the gap? This will be interesting. Oh, sorry guys. I didn't see what the choices were on round 2. They've both grabbed Missile Strike anyway. Accidentally had it on 2 times speed, so it just speed ran through that animation. Phoenix on the front line. Really? Fengfeng. Dude, he's looking to win before the War Factory even comes out. Missile's going to take out the Void Eyes, 1 Crawler squad. This one's going to try and hit the Steel Balls, the Arclight, and the Crawler. Problem is, how do you clear this chaff, like I said, because those level 2 Steel Balls are going to come in. And it's kind of cool how Fengfeng loves to upgrade these crawls. I think it makes sense against the guy who's been spamming Mustangs. Going Mustangs into crawlers that have already been leveled is a problem. And look at that. It is once again Mustangs. It's ball Mustang turn 2 for the conclusion. Puts it on the right side. It's kind of good because the Mustang could kill the Phoenix, even though the Phoenixes will do some good damage. So that's kind of good. It's just on this left side, once again, the Arclights will get stuck on the Tarantulas. On the plus side, these balls won't get blocked by the crawlers this time, which means these balls will clear that Tarantula, which will allow this Arclight to change targets, assuming these Phoenix don't kill everything first, which they're going to. Ouch. Phoenix killing both a ball and an Arclight almost instantly. The missiles both do good damage against each other. Now, on the right side, 2 balls went down, but the Phoenix did die to the Mustangs. Tower debuff's going to come in at not the most useful timing, but it will allow the Mustangs to quickly clear the Phoenix. And it looks like should be able to get this Tarantula. I think this Tarantula and Void Eye on the left, especially with the well-timed tower debuff, will be really effective though. And actually, even that Tarantula with the Paralyze. Oh, you're kidding me. The Paralyze doesn't even kill one Tarantula. Oh, wow. That Tarantula gets a lot of experience. They both do. Crawlers there tanking the paralyzed into non-paralyzed Arclight really well. And the speed spec Steel Ball Mustang start for conclusion. Struggling against the Tarantula Void Eye start. Oh, Scorpions. Going to get offered. Scorpions really good against the Steel Balls as well. I do think Conclusion goes Wasps. Okay, so Conclusion wants to keep up the aggro and put the Wasps in the corners or just keep YOLOing the front. Steel Ball and Mustang found more use on the right side. So look at this jump drive Phoenix to reposition them to different angles. That's cool. He's going to put it behind the Scorpion. And we are going to go Wasps on the right. Still going to struggle with chaff clear on this left side, though. That's going to be a really big problem that continues in this game. Okay, so the Wasps... I mean, the Wasps will help out a little bit. They'll help against the Phoenix as well. Fangs are going to come out. They're going to go on that side to absorb the Phoenix. Guess what? Phoenix is over there now. That's where you need to put your Fangs. But this is why the jump drive is such a good tempo play. It's a really cheap upgrade. Now, it makes it really expensive to get your other upgrades, but a lot of the time you can go for like 6-7 rounds, sometimes even without getting range or never getting range on Phoenix. They are such a good early tempo unit, even though Phoenix had their damage and hit points, I believe, both slightly nerfed, right? I think it was both. Tarantulas had their hit points nerfed. They were both small nerfs to a composition that's been performing very, very well. Tarantula, Phoenix openings, really solid. Range on the balls, but look at that. Missile goes down on the Phoenix, takes them out. Nice missile. Balls tracking onto the Tarantulas. Oh, and he's going to crush the left side this time with the tracking onto that. That's a sexy, sexy left side change up. Conclusion says, oh, I'm sorry. Do you guys think I'm going to struggle with some stupid Tarantulas on the front line? Nuh-uh. Clicks range on the balls. The problem is that he's committing more into balls against a player who's already got Scorpion. So you could say, well, Scorpion counters this is bad. On the other hand, the balls... Sometimes as you get range on them, they actually just stay behind your chaff way better, right? They don't charge into the Scorpion shots nearly as much. So positioning wise, you can make it so those Scorpions don't actually effectively counter the balls, even though they do on paper. This is going to be really good paralyzed timing though for the Scorpion. The balls do charge up damage though, even when paralyzed. Is it enough? No, it's not enough. I mean, the Wasps will clean up, but you're going to lose everything on the ground, so... Going to take them a while to kill the 37,000 max hit point Scorpion. It goes down, and the Tarantula will go down after that. But Conclusion gets a round win here, and I think the range on the balls has changed the dynamic of this fight. Question is, can he continue to deal with the chaff on this side that's going to go down in front? Efficient light manufacturing for Redhair, aka Fengfeng. Orbital Bombard's a very tempting spell. We'll see what ends up happening. Now we're going to go for Mustangs, was it? I think I just saw Mustangs. Looks like a quick undo there for Fengfeng. Enjoying that undo button. Oh, undid the unlock of the Mustang even. Oh, that's cool. Now, of course, Wraith for the chaff clear. Okay. Because now you're locking onto the Tarantulas. He has to go chaff in front. That's what I would do here. But maybe that's because I'm a dumbass simpleton. And maybe Fengfeng knows you're going to put Wraiths down and stuff. So he knows don't double down into a lost cause. Instead, just spread out across the board, maybe. Mustangs are coming out. Chat says improved Wraith. Oh, it was improved Wraith. It makes it 30% more attack, range +5. Increases recruitment cost by 50. This is one of the weaker improved cards, but it's because it's for a unit that's absolutely insane at its role already. The Wraith is already one of the best tanky, short-range flying chaff clear units in the game, and it's kind of awesome. Dumbass simpletons unite. Shout out to you guys. Apes together strong. Steel balls with range. Mustangs. Arc lights. Missile's going to go down on this right side as well. Conclusion, he knows he needs some tempo right now. Let's see if this Wraith can do the job. Phoenix have moved a bit further back on that left side. Both Phoenix are on the left now. Will they be able to deal with the Wraith? I do not know. The Scorpion goes down to the balls very quickly. Unfortunately, the Mustangs are stuck on the Tarantula, but the Wraith doing a really good job. Dude, the improved Wraith does pretty damn well here. It will go down to the Phoenix momentarily. That left side's pretty close. Right side also pretty close. The steel balls got stuck a little bit long on the chaff there. And the Mustangs got stuck on the Tarantula. This looks like another slight win, but I think the life is good enough for conclusion. You can take another 500-600 damage to the face, and who knows, you might even kill a bunch of these ground units. Looks like the Phoenix are going to be obviously a big problem. We've only got a few Mustangs. Can he kill one Phoenix with the help of the Paralyze? No range upgrade on the Mustangs, so the answer is no. The Wraith is one of the best tanky short-range flying chaff clear units, eh? Look, alright? Boah, that was a sentence that was said, okay? We're gonna move past it. Shh. I'm aware. May not be my best statement of all time. I agree. I absolutely agree with that. Improved firepower plus 70% damage. Gonna put that on a level 2 Mustang. Probably these guys down here and give him range, right? Maybe? No, we're gonna put it on the Wraith. Of course we're gonna put it on the Wraith. Wraith, gonna get plus 70% damage. We're gonna go range Wraiths across the board. Ooh, and then, yeah, if you can get some more crawlers spread throughout this side as well, that'll be nice. Missile's gonna wreck us on this side. Our own missile could go for the Phoenix, but of course the Phoenix are just gonna move. So you probably wanna go for the Mustangs or maybe the level 2 crawlers. You could do just a missile here, get the crawlers, get some of the Void Eyes, damage the Tarantula, might be the best one. The Phoenix, where did they move, guys? Backdoor? Oh, it's a backdoor. Backdoor! Oh, the backdoor combo! Look at this, guys. Jump drive Phoenix. You think it's covered, but it's not, because I've got a missile. The Mustangs are going to get distracted on the Tarantula. By the way, these are now high explosive Tarantulas. They don't even bother with range. He's just like, nah, I just want to clear these crawlers as quickly as possible with these Tarantulas before they die. Also, look at that. Sledges in the front to try and get these Wraiths stuck on them. Oh my god, I'm stuck Step Wraith. It's the I'm stuck Step Wraith strategy for Feng. Is it gonna work out? I don't know. I think this is looking like a pretty nice turn though. And that Tarantula should clear those crawlers though. It's gonna force it to turn back and forwards a bit. Look at this bottom corner, guys. Missile on the top does take out Mustangs, Void Eyes, crawlers, damages the Phoenix. But this one down here opens up the flank. Only one Wasp survives that. Wraith's doing really good damage right now. The Wasp's coming in from behind a chaff clear in the top left of our screen. But once that arc light goes down, the tower debuff will come in. Is it too little too late? It actually might be. The whole left side is over. So you've committed to the Phoenix in the back door. Yeah, I mean, it's still a very close fight. I think the Wasps, it looks like the Wraiths are going to the Phoenix and the Wasps towards the tower and the Mustangs, which is really bad for conclusion, right? You want it to go the other way around. You want the Wraiths to kill the Mustangs and stuff, but he will get the tower debuff, so I think it's fine. These are only level 1 Phoenix. They don't do much damage, and when they're paralyzed, they do almost nothing. And these Wraiths now, you're going to be able to get both Wraiths to level, which is actually huge. So both improved Wraiths level, damage goes down. It is supply spec with efficient light, which means long term, you are really worried. But Redhair is going to skip. Doesn't want flanking, doesn't want lightning storm, doesn't want the bonus range. We are going to see quick teleport for conclusion. He'd love to abuse these corners. Did he go efficient light as well? He didn't. So efficient light plus supply spec, long term, Redhair is going to be getting really good value. Question. Can Redhair deal with a War Factory in the corner? Because we know at any point, conclusion can just pivot and put a War Factory in the corner. Right? He's got both corners open. So his options are there. And that's like one of these things you've got to account for in this game. Wait, he took Wraiths as well? Ooh, okay, you know what? I would have gone range on the Tarantulas, but I think he figures these balls are tracking on too quickly. I need chaff clear that isn't going to die to the steel balls. So basically what Fengfeng's identified is basically all of your single target damage is your steel balls. You have no single target damage that shoots up. Yes, the Wraith does some decent damage, but not crazy. It's still a chaff clear unit. So he goes for the Wraiths with the degen across the front line. That's going to be some chaff clear with staying power. This is really smart, actually. I think this could work really well. The degen's going to slow down the whole advance, allow the Phoenix to hopefully clear the enemy Wraiths, even though they are both level 2. Obviously, they would smash in a Wraith versus Wraith headbutt, but the problem is, yeah, now you've got the chaff clear in there. You've got high explosive tarantulas and degen Wraiths, and you absolutely annihilate that round. Wow! Triple Farseer with EMP is going to come out. You have to go triple Farseer with EMP as conclusion. EMP here, here, and over here. You want 3 EMP Farseers to deactivate the degen beam. It's also going to kill the Wraith really quickly. You have to take the Farseer for EMP, dude. There's no other choice here. I guarantee you that is by far the best choice. He has to click EMP, get rid of these degen Wraiths, shut them down. That's exactly what he's going to do. You could also Photon, says chat. You could. Photon's a lot more expensive. It costs 400 as opposed to a 100 upgrade. And whilst the damage reduction will be nice on your units, I think that 300 supply difference for something, this is still going to shut down the degen pretty quickly. He's going to go 8 gun. 3 Wraiths with 8 gun in range. The carry Wraith, EMP Farseer. Oh, also, Photon won't help your Wraiths. It'll only help your ground units because this is ground-only Photon. It's only the Overlord that does ground and air Photon protection to block the degen, yeah. Good point, good point. Okay, +1 life, +1 attack. We're paying for range, we're paying for movement speed. Also, borrowing money, paying for range, paying for movement speed. Fengfeng wants to finish this game. Conclusion should borrow money right now. He's trying to be a bit more efficient for the long term, but he needs to win this round. I do think the Farseers are going to shut down these degen guys. He does end up adding more crawlers with the extra recruitment. Crawlers on the flank. He hasn't really used the quick flanking in the corners or anything. This is going to be the game. If he loses this round, he's out. Conclusion is going to take a big missile to the chin. But the Farseers deactivate both degens instantly. There is still one on the right side for a moment, but it gets deactivated as well. This is massive. Those Farseers are huge, but the Phoenix are getting through. There's still a lot of Wraiths and Tarantulas chaff clearing, and if you allow these Phoenix, 4 level 2 Phoenix, clearing everything on this left side, even with the EMP, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's just high explosive tarantulas and Wraiths saying, look, we have a headbutt and I have the anti-air firing damage. I have 8 Phoenix. Each one does 6,500 damage every 3.2 seconds. You don't have any real anti-air damage per second. You don't have that, which means my Wraiths are just going to hang on the front line, clearing chaff, and that's going to allow the Phoenix to blast you down. Even add the damage item. So these Phoenix were doing 10,000 damage a shot. And that's actually the tournament winning game. This was a masterclass from Fengfeng in showing flexible play. Sometimes playing a bit aggressive, mostly playing a bit more defensive as the series went on. And after some really dangerous war factories that were getting out of control, started to just get way too much momentum early on and said, you know what? You're always playing aggressive. You're always looking for the war factory. But if I just do make a few moves to actually give myself even more momentum, I can put you in lethal danger from round 3, round 4, round 5, and start making you play desperate, essentially. This start of this game, obviously the Tarantula placement against the Arclights was tragic for Conclusion. It really cost him, and it meant he had to go for very early commitment to range balls. That gave a lot of momentum and kind of the initiative to Redhair. He's like, you've invested in range balls. Cool, I can play around that. I can pivot my splash damage. I don't even know if he should have gone high explosive on the Tarantulas. Could have maybe gone Wraiths even earlier to pivot around this and say, hey, your single target damage can't clear my chaff clear. That's a huge problem for you. Because normally, if you clear their chaff clear and then blast the Wraiths down, their chaff clear is gone, you're in a good spot. That just wasn't the case in this game. Redhair is going to win, aka Fenghair. 4 wins, 2 losses. This was a fantastically epic best of 7 grand finals. And I think it was really cool because you see so many different loadouts, specialists, lineups. You see the players play different styles, and you really get to see that it's not just about a little bit of chance here or there, because you actually are playing many games. So it's not just about what cards and what unit drops come out. There is enough room for your decision-making, your consistency to allow you to differentiate yourself from your opponent. GG, well played.